Yep. So I'm removing this. Okay, here we go. All right, I'm going live right now, and I'm gonna monologue for a little bit, okay? And I'll come get you. Welcome to the Code Talk Evening Show. I am your host, Victor Vincent, with aka Mr. Accountable Masculinity, and this is my boy Antoine. As you can see, he's joining us right now. He might be a little pixelated, but I got some things I need to say before we get going. So, the driving thought this week, for those of you that follow me on social media, particularly Facebook. So, one of the things that I posted this week was about the difference between needs and wants, and that's what this show is about today. Everything's about needs and wants. Needs and wants separates the haves from the have-nots. And the difference is that some people don't know the difference, and they confuse and prioritize things differently based on what they interpret as being a need or want. So some of the examples that I discussed in some of my topics this week over social media were about how do you tell the difference? Well, somebody that needs something comes from a position of deficit. Someone that wants something comes from a position of abundance and able to obtain. They can have it if they want it. But if you don't have it, then you need it. So the goal for all men is to put yourself in a position where you don't need. That way you can have better options about what you want. Options are about want. Options aren't about need. When you're in a need position, you are not in the upper position where you can have more options. That's basically what it is. The position of need generally is going to have you more associated and aligned with people that are coming to suck you dry. They will sap your pockets. They will bleed you, because if they need you, they will bleed you. Most of your narcissists operate from need. Most, children operate from need. They can't do for themselves. It's the same principle. It's the difference between attracting someone that can hurt you or help you. If you have a position of want, you are speaking from a position of power, person with options. If you can have what you want, you're going to choose something that adds value to you, not something that you can go subtract from. So needs and wants are very, very important to distinguish when you're trying to figure out who you want to connect yourself to. So that's today's topic, needs versus wants. And without further ado, I'm going to bring Mr. Antoine up here. What's going on, brother? You're muted. You're muted. Do you want me to unmute you? Oh, man. Antoine struggle streaming today. Let me just, you're still muted, brother. No. I don't know what's wrong with your mic, bro. Leave out and come back in. And we'll try this again.
Are you kidding me, man?
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Gotcha.
Oh, I'm like, wait a minute here. I'm like, what am I going to do?
Right.
We good?
So, yeah, we good. I'm waiting on you, man.
We good?
Tell me about
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we good.
All right. I mean, I'm listening to what you have to say because what you said is right. You know?
Yeah.
But I want give me some bullet points to work with over here.
Okay, so needs and wants, right? You know you need to network with people to make what you do work.
Right.
And then once you're in the space of networking, you get to choose who you want to network with. Notice I said want. It was easily said that was in there because you have the options of who you want to work with at that point. So all I'm saying is that a lot of people believe that they can have what they want, but they have nothing to trade of value in order to access, you know what I'm saying, the opportunities that's there.
Right. Right.
So the bullet points still amount to being able to do the work for yourself so that need isn't your primary function.
I mean, listen, there's a lot of things. If we're going to talk like this, I think there's a lot of things men need. I mean, we need to be in a relationship. We need companionship. We need the opposite sex. We need a job. There's certain things that men need that they can't function in the world without it. And that's, to me, very, very important to know what your needs are, right?
Yep.
The wants is something the wants is what you can afford, right? But the needs is something you need to have.
Talk right? about it. Yeah.
Needs is something you need to have, and realistic needs, right? The unrealistic needs, that's your wants. That ain't gonna happen, right? At least not anytime soon until you work towards your needs to make it happen.
Yep.
So that being said, I think every young man should figure out what his main needs are and go for that. Because once you get your needs met, then you can worry about the wants.
Yep. And you have to also not just get your needs met, you have to have them in a sustainable, pragmatic format.
Yeah.
You know, you don't if you don't have your needs met in a sustainable, pragmatic format, you're in survival mode.
You're in survival mode. Right? What is it? There's a certain amount of percentage of Americans a high percentage of Americans living check to check, right? They need to bring that up so they're not living check to check and have enough for a rainy day. So they got to put their wants aside.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They got to put their wants aside so they can have their needs met. And that takes a certain hunger, a certain drive towards ambition and all that sort of stuff. And you got to be. I find it now that I'm at this age in my life. I find that you have to be more realistic with yourself, man. Oh, shit, I sound like my father. You got to be more realistic in your life at my age. As you get older, when you're young, you think of the present. When you're young, you think of the future. When you're old, you think of the present. And that for me is every day I think about, okay, what am I needing to do today to get ahead for tomorrow, right? That's my mindset. I'm not dreaming of my future. I'm dreaming of where I need to be. There's a difference.
Right. Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And people have to be realistic to that. And and like I said, along comes adjusting your, after a while, you don't dream the same like before, right? Because now you're like, okay, I'm at this age, it hasn't happened yet. What are my needs to keep on going?
Yes.
What are my needs to keep on going, right? And then, that's why when people tell me at a certain age they have to find themselves or and all this, I'm like, what did you do that you're at that age that you didn't find yourself? Were you in prison? Were you locked up? Like that should have been your journey from day one. Did you have trauma? Did you get your trauma handled? Maybe you need to get your trauma handled, go to therapy, but you should, at a certain age, you can't use that excuse no more. Nobody's coming to save you.
Man, absolutely, man. Like it's
you can't use that anymore, man, Vic. You can't use that excuse anymore.
Nope.
And the more that as I get older, I realize that. And I'm like, okay, I get it now. Now I'm in desperate mode. Now I'm at this age, I'm in desperate mode in a sense of what I got to do.
Yeah.
But I can't let desperate road make me make bad decisions, because that's what happens. That's where bad decisions come from.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You don't have desperate mode when you're young. You get all this time ahead of you.
Yep. Man.
You got all this time ahead of you, man.
Yeah, like that. These are the simple things that become more important as we get older. And the thing is that we don't rehash how simple life actually is. You know what I'm saying? From what it takes to do the right thing, stay focused, complete your task and your missions, whatever terminology you want to use to describe.
Man, Vic, why the hell is your damn microphone so far away from you again?
Hey, man, look, I right now this is what I like. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I got it turned up.
That shit ain't gonna work.
Is it micing right better? Is it micing right now?
That's a little bit better. It's a little bit better.
It's a little bit better. I don't want to overturn my game because, like, I got some speakers that's in here close by. I ain't in no huge studio, man. It's my little office where I be over here paying bills.
I got you.
Yeah, what's up, man?
You said you want the mic further away from me. I gotta get my damn head right.
Yeah, I
my
see
head
you.
is all messed up.
I saw you back there fidgeting. You know what I'm
I was
saying?
back here fixing it, man. But
oh yeah.
I ain't want to show nobody my bald head.
Man, look who you hiding? Hey.
Yeah, man.
So to catch you up in the conversation, man, we talking about needs and wants, because I kind of start picking on this conversation in my timeline, because I think a lot of people got it backwards, and that's part of where a lot of the conflict comes from in where people communicate. You know, some people speak from need, some people speak from want, and I think a lot of people are using language that is similar, but it's not necessarily the same thing. So therefore, a lot of points get missed intentionally, you know, because they're not speaking from a place of need, or they might not be speaking from a place of want. If you're speaking from a place of need, you might not understand wants the same way, you know. As fickle as that is, it comes down to, like, one of the things that I identified. I made a post on the 29th. I said, read carefully. Matter of fact, I'm gonna pull it up real quick, and let me just go down each one of them, and we'll read it together. How about that? I said, read carefully. Ladies, be fearful of men that need you. Be appreciative of the man that wants you. There's a difference. Men that need you are sexually undisciplined men that chase cat. And most of them are raised by single mothers. All you have to do is examine the men that you had the most conflict with in your dating experience. Men that need you will get you pregnant on purpose to trap you. And you see that conversation expands a little bit more. You can need help, but if you will only accept help on your terms, you may be mentally ill. If he needs you, they can't lead you. Men that need you are lusting for you like an R&B song. It's dysfunctional. The need to be right is dangerous. If they need you, they will bleed you. Men that need you will not treat you any differently than any woman. You are not special to a man that needs you. You're just available. This is the mindset of a sexually undisciplined man. People with inferiority and superiority complexes need attention for short-term fulfillment. People with purpose want to serve their purpose. People of service don't need to be told to be purposeful. Drug addicts need. Want comes from a position of power. You can have it whenever you want it. When you need, you can't make the rules with the least amount of resources. Do you see where danger can be manifested between want versus need? Pay attention to who raised the people that need you. People that need are silently competing with everyone. Children need. Narcissists need. Need comes from a deficit of power. Want comes from a position of power. There's a huge difference between the two. So, welcome to the show, Cavi. Glad you can make it. And, you know, I just want you to jump in wherever you feel like you need to say anything, if I missed anything.
Oh, no, I don't feel like you missed anything, bro. You know what I'm saying? I think starting off well, man, you know. So everything sounds good to me. You know what I'm saying? This is the discussion of the day. Is that correct?
That is correct. You know, I didn't go to therapy last week, so I wanted to bring these topics to my therapist last week, and I get a chance to talk to him just to hear his thoughts or whatever, because this is what I was already, you know what I'm saying, kind of dwelling on. And I wasn't sure how I wanted to frame it. Huh? Why?
Yeah,
why did I want? Well, because
like why wants and need versus needs?
Because I believe that there's a difference between the people that's having their discussions about it. You know, like I could tell when people
what's going on, bro?
I could just tell when people are like disagreeable for the sake of just being disagreeable, right? And when they're being disingenuous and it's coming from a personal experience, and they are projecting. A lot of projections come from lack, you know, because they're not able to get what they want. They're not getting what they want. You know, like your your incels. You see a lot of those people that automatically just default to something negative and disrespectful towards women because they're not being satisfied between their wants and needs. So when they're not getting what they want, they'd rather be disrespectful, like you talk about all the time, right? The communication between men and women, and men being very disrespectful, that kind of feeds into it also, because people that get what they want do not the labor of the people with what they don't want. You don't waste time talking to people that don't reflect what you can have, right? Because if you can get what you want, why do you care? Why do you care about arguing with people that can't get what they want?
Right, right. I got you. I got you.
Well, first of all, you shouldn't have those people in your circle, anyways.
Well, obviously, yeah. But and all my observations that I wrote about is just me really analyzing the things that I see on social media. You know, not in my regular life, but most people have issues with everywhere that they go, because somebody either needs something from them or wants them to do something, and they're trying to break down where do they fit at in their equation. You know what I'm saying? Somebody has a job where somebody else didn't do their job, so they're putting off their work on someone else because they need something done that they didn't do or don't want to do it, and they have the ability to do it.
I'll tell you where I've seen this need thing that you're talking about. Can you guys hear me clearly?
Yes, sir.
Great,
Yes,
great,
sir.
great.
Oh, yeah.
So I've really seen a lot of the posts that a lot of females have made. It said, summer's almost over with and it's almost winter. There's gonna be some dudes that need a place to stay. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna have those men that don't have, a shelter over their head, pretty much. And like you said, Vic, they're gonna need someone, or they're gonna need a woman to shack up with, for the winter and for the summer, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's just the little stupid meme that they put out there. But I see exactly what you're talking about. As far as us being good evening, Alonda. I think that's her name, Alonda. I hope I'm saying that right. Because we're getting bashed because we're not saying Kamala right. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, like I said, so you do have those men that need a woman, like I said, for her home, for money, for a whole lot of other different things, sex, whatever, and then you do have those men that don't necessarily need a woman, but we want a woman. And those men are the men who either are married or want to be married, like Brother Antoine here. So he wants to be married. So the thing is, he wants a woman, not necessarily needs a woman, but he wants a woman. A woman would complete Antoine. Am I saying that right? Or am I right about that, Antoine? Antoine, can you hear me? I can't hear neither one of y'all.
He got a mic issue.
Damn, I'm sorry, man. I always, it goes to mute because I don't want you guys to hear my chair. So I just mute everything, and then I start talking and I forget. Say the question again. I'm sorry, bro. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I was saying that people like men who are married, we want our wives. It's not necessarily
right.
Need. There's a little there is some need after being married, because two people become one. So of course at that time you need someone.
Right.
Like I said to you, you're in the actions of trying to find a wife. You're pursuing that. You want a wife. Right. You want a mother for your child.
I'm married. I'm marriage minded. Exactly.
Right. You're married minded. So you want that. That's not necessarily something that you need, but it's something that you want. Am I correct in saying that?
Okay, so I'm gonna say it differently, because I said to Vic, Vic, I think every man needs to be married, right? I think every man needs to be married. I don't think men should be alone. I think we should procreate. I think every man should want a legacy. I don't think we should be selfish about that. Just like I believe every woman should have a baby, because I believe a baby makes every woman happy. No matter, even if she says that she wouldn't be happy, I believe deep down inside, when she looks at another woman with a child, that mother instinct will never, ever go away. It's always going to be there. You can deny it and all this sort of stuff, turn away from it and judge it. But at the end of the day, if you gave birth to a child, you would want it. So that being said, yes, I need to be married. So my mindset now is that I'm a marriage-minded guy, that I want to be married for the right reason. So you're absolutely right in combining the need with the want with what you said. You know,
Okay.
but
Right.
like I said, I always told Vic in the past. I said, Vic, right? I believe that men men in general need to get their game up so they're in the position to want to be married. That's the whole purpose of what we do. Think about
Right.
making all this money, having all this knowledge, and not having anything substantial to share it with, even if it's a significant other of a wife. You have nothing. So what's all the purpose for? What was all that work for? That's how I see it.
So I'll break this down. I was talking to one of my old teachers in the pool the other day. We were doing lap swims, whatever, and Miss Al Zubaidi. She's an Arab lady, so she comes from a totally different culture, other than American culture. You know, she's traditional. She's traditionally from Iraq, and so the culture is significantly different. So they get married early on. They got married when they were 16. So through that marriage,
Yeah,
they both built, you know, I mean, they built their legacy together. What I mean by legacy is, you know, they had their two kids. They had two sons. One's a doctor and one is a judge, I believe. And so they built that. They have a nice house, of course. They have everything, you know, set for them. They've done wonderfully. They've done wonderful when it comes to finances, right? And they built all that from the age of 16 to where they are now. She's 73, he's 76. So they built everything together. So you don't necessarily have to accomplish the financial or the professional thing by yourself and then find someone to marry. I think that's a mistake. Honestly, if we corrected our culture here in America, I do believe that we could still get married young and build together and become professionals together, do all those things together. I don't think you have to be a single entity to get those things done, because what happens, and what I'm seeing happening a whole lot, especially with our females, is they are doing wonderful things. I'm talking about education. They are reaching spots in corporate America that hasn't been reached by black people before. You know, we even have one running for president. Look, I mean, so at the end of the day, you're seeing black women do wonderful things at very high levels, and I think they feel like they have to do that on their own before they can pursue either having, you know, a husband or having a child. And I think it's a bit of a mistake, because some of them get, you know, they get up there in age and everything, and then once you become like 35 plus, it's kind of a rush job after that, right? Because even you said it the other week, we were talking, you were saying, hey man, I'm 40. What are you're 40, what? 5?
7, 7,
47. You said you're
7.
47. Hey man, the door's closing on me having, you know, a baby, you know, or a child, right? So with women, that's even more significant. It's closing on you because you're getting a little older. And I had my last baby at 40, right? So my baby, when she
Men don't
turns
get old,
20,
that baby.
okay. Let me explain this. I'm gonna break it down for you. So I'm 40. I had a brand new baby. I'm 43. I had a brand new baby at 40, right? And I think about where I'm going to be when my child's going to be 20. When my child turns 20, I'm going to be 60. When my child's 30, I'm going to be 70. When my child's 40, I'm going to be 80. So am I going to be here at the same age that I am now? My mother's here. She's still living. She's still very healthy. She still moves. She's still motivated. I'm going to be 80 years old when my child is my age. So am I still going to be that same, you know, am I still going to have that same motivation? Am I still going to be physically motivated to do things? You know, I really have to ask myself that. So that door even closes on men. What it does for women is it closes on women biologically, you know, because the later in age that they get, you know, the more dangerous pregnancy is, you know. So a woman after, you know, 35, you know, they may be thinking, hey, I got to do this before I'm 40, you know, or I got to do this before I'm 37. Now, through medical advances and everything that we have now, women are starting to have babies at 50, 55. I'm seeing, you know, any type of age or whatever, but they still have it in the back of their head that they want to have it earlier than 50 years old. What I'm saying is, I think if we get our culture right here, that we can pursue professionalism in our goals and our careers while young with a person, you know, but we both have to have understanding that, hey, we're pursuing these things. If we get married at 18 right after high school, we have to have the understanding that, hey, we're both going to college, or we got to get certified, we got to get whatever we have to get our careers going and build from there. You know what I'm saying? Because if we wait too late, man, I mean, everything's a rush job. You get what I'm saying? Do you kind of feel what I'm saying there?
Well, okay. So you touched on a lot of stuff, so I'm going to break it down, right? How I'm seeing it. Because unlike you, I don't want struggle love. I don't want any of that struggle love. I ain't struggling love with nobody. I'm not building with nobody. No woman can help me do what I do. I don't need her to cook me breakfast. I don't need none of that because she can't do what I do, right?
Okay.
I don't believe in struggle love. I'm not gonna save up money, right? Let's be specific. Black women have babies. Black women don't get married. Black women have babies. That's their first mindset. They don't get married. They have babies, right? So it's very difficult to find a fresh one. They do. That's just a fact. They prefer that baby mama route because if you talk to most black women, especially modern black women, they always say they don't need a man. That's preached to them. That's taught to them. Every other race can go out there, go to school, get an education, and get married. Black women feel like they have to get that first before they think of getting together with a man. So that's two different mindsets. Right? And I find that strange that they can think like that. But talking about Kamala Harris, she has no kids because she made it clear in her career she wanted that career. In some ways, I understand it because she had a mindset and she wanted to be in Congress and all that stuff, right? And I commend her for that. Like her, I wish I would have smelt the roses. Like her, I wish I would have smelt the roses and lift my head up to see that at a certain point, I had to prioritize having a partner, right? I should have prioritized that. But then again, I prioritized more of not having struggle love, right? I wanted to have a baby so I can afford a baby, so I can enjoy a baby. Not that child is a burden to me, right? And I don't want that. I never wanted that. So material possessions, having a comfort of my life was more important to me than having a child when I was coming up. Did I focus on that area too much? Yes. Do I have regret focusing on that area too much? Yes. Do I have regret where I am now? No. Right? Because now if I want to get married, I'm writing a check. I'm good. If I want to go on a honeymoon, how long you want to go? I'm good. Right? If I want to pay all the bills, I'm good. If she comes in, it's a plus. But she will be paying rent over here. I don't know what she's thinking, but she will be paying rent, right?
Well, yeah, you in California, so
I'm not that guy if you tell me I need to take care of your nails and hair, that just tells me you can't afford your own upkeep. That's all that tells me. Okay,
Antoine.
Right?
Antoine,
but I'm not gonna be split. What?
Right, Antoine. One thing I want to tell you, and hopefully you can do this fast. You need to reset your router and come back on. Reason being is because your internet connection is iffy at best. You may be running at like 3 megabytes per second upload. Dude, it's terrible.
Yeah, your camera looking like a flip phone. I was just about to say you need to restart, but it started glitching.
Right.
So like, but to
what's Alonda saying here? Alonda.
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah, see what she got to say in the comments.
Okay, I think it's better for people to be a little older before getting married and or having kids. Okay, and Alonda, I agree with you in this society. It definitely is. What I was kind of saying is witnessing a woman that wasn't from the society, wasn't from a Western society, being, like I said, from Iraq, being of a Middle Eastern society. You know, they work a little different, you know what I'm saying? And we can't say it doesn't work because a lot of those people come over here and they do spectacular things. You know, they open stores, they open, hotel chains, they open restaurants, they get very well educated, all these different things, and they get married at a very early age. I think that in America, here in the West, I think it's kind of driven forward to wait until you mature a little bit, you know, and that's okay. I don't see anything wrong with that, Alonda. But what I do see is in the case of Antoine, you know, he's 47 now. Now he has pursued and gotten everything that he wants in a career, and he's got his money right. Now it's crunch time, right? You know, and us men, we kind of have this thing where we say, well, it's never too old for a man to have a baby. That's not true. That's not true because I have a 3-year-old. Like I said, I'm 43, and that girl can run me to death. You know what I'm saying? Whereas,
what do you think? I think the age is relative to the resources because I have a friend of mine. He became a father again in his 60s, but he
Right.
was in good health and he could travel. I think it's really contingent upon your health, you know,
That
more than
too. That too. Right. That too. That too.
I think because health is wealth, you know.
Right, right, and like I said, many of you who are watching this, you guys know I'm on this journey of losing weight. I want to get down to 200 pounds, even, so I've lost a whole lot of weight. So you're right, health is wealth, but even still, you have a lot more energy at 20 than you do 40. To give you an example, if you're 20 years old, you can literally work, go out on a Friday, stay out until 5 o'clock a.m. and get back up at 7 and work another 8 hours. That's not happening at 40. You feel what I'm saying? That's
And
not
start,
that's
and
right.
start yawning like after the pod, we gonna be in the bed, you
Right,
know.
right, right. And like I said, for women, I think it's just maybe, like I said, a biological thing with them. It's just the doors are closing biologically. Hey, it's gonna get a little dangerous, in your 40s to have a child. Doctors will say that. Science says that. So, with them, yeah, it's better to get pregnant and have a baby at, 25, 26 years old. And hopefully by that time, where I'm seeing a whole lot of black women now, they're getting an education, and hell, they're getting master's degrees before they're 25 years old. So, it's working out for them,
Yeah,
but
getting the education out the way is I think that's very important for women.
it is. Yeah.
And this is kind of like where you start crossing into that gray area between what the rhetoric of everybody going to school to get master's degrees and cutting their relationship opportunities short, and thinking that way,
Right.
versus like, why don't you just do it within a necessary means of just being able to do it. If you can do it,
Right. Right.
but trying to satisfy some timeline that may have passed you by, and now you want to come and try to reset time and time travel, get a do-over. Like, you got to be realistic with your needs and wants, you know what I'm saying? Because you might put a bunch of stuff on your list that you want to accomplish, want to accomplish, and then that might be different than your need to accomplish. And sometimes that stuff just doesn't sync up, Like, there's plenty of things that I started, completed, and thought that I would have done a lot longer than I wanted to. And like, I thought I was going to be in the military for 20 years, and then I was like, nah, I'm done. I'm going contracted.
Right.
And then I I worked overseas for 4 years, and I was like, the last contract that I took, I said, man, I see how people get over here and they just get lumped in and just keep getting the money. And the money's good up until a certain point, but if you can't connect with the reason why you're making the money to your overall plan, you can still end up being behind, just simply because you weren't available. Because the best ability is availability. You know what I'm saying? Which comes back to, just because you can doesn't mean you should. And even if you have the means, you still have to make the right decision, which is very much why, like, some people that prioritize their wants over their needs, it doesn't matter how much money you give them, doesn't change their life. It just gives them an accelerant to be exactly who they already are at present. You have to change how you're thinking and what you're doing to make the resources line up with what you're trying to accomplish,
Okay.
So a lot of people will try to tell you what they would be doing if they were in your position, but they're speaking from a place of need in most cases, when they're just giving unsolicited advice, because they don't know your situation.
Right.
They're just looking at what they would have done if they had a chance to do it over.
Right. And listening to Antoine and what he was saying that women, black women in particular, wanted to have babies and really didn't think about having husbands. I don't, and see, this is the reason why I think we need to have more females on the show, because they would be able to rest.
I try to tell them, get out of my comments and get on camera. Look, ladies, if you're listening,
right,
and you always got something else to say, and all you want to do is disagree, get on camera and come up here and speak and tell us what you think.
Absolutely.
Ladies, if you want to be part of the conversation that leads to a solution that balances out the commentary that we have, you have to speak up. You can't do it from the comment section.
Right. Are there any more comments that you want to post up here? Are you seeing anything?
No, not yet.
Okay.
go ahead and hit your followers into the comments over there too, because
Okay.
yeah, if possible. But
All right. And like I said, I don't know if it's the case in what Antoine is saying. It could be, it may not be. I think that we do see a lot of sisters that can call themselves mothers but can't call themselves wives, and that's unfortunate. You know what I'm saying? It definitely is unfortunate. But I don't know the particular reason in why. You know what I'm saying? It's like that. I don't know why it's like that. I don't know why they're saying, nah, I'm okay being a wife. You know what I'm saying? But I do want a baby. I don't know why that is. What did your wife say?
Because they dumb.
Say it, baby.
Because they dumb.
Hey,
She said they dumb.
Hey,
Well,
we'll talk
well,
about it. Why they dumb, baby?
Because it doesn't make sense. But
I'm not making. I want to make sure there's. I'm not making. I want to make sure, Cabby, because I know you have your little sensitive heart.
You look beautiful, man. By the way, I appreciate that.
I want to make sure I'm clear with you, Cabby. Okay, yeah. I know you have your little soft spot for them. I don't give them a pass for nothing. You choose. You have a smart mind, and you are accountable for what you do. You know what I mean? It's just a seed until you give it dirt to make it a plant. If I'm a woman, that's one thing I'm going to cherish, because there's nothing more proud to be able to give birth to a child. But it's even more proud when the man to give birth that you have that child with is there to make sure he's there after the child is born and do his job as a man. I hold men just as accountable. I don't think no broke man should have a kid. I don't think no broke man should. I think if a woman meets a man with a kid and she doesn't have a kid, she should run. I don't even think she should give that man a chance, because that shows his irresponsibility. Period. There's no question about it. There's no, oh, so you just had unprotected sex. Yeah, we were young and dumb. No, you were just dumb. You weren't young and dumb. You just dumb because you knew the outcome. That's all I'm saying. And
Antoine, I want to put a pin in there.
No, go ahead.
Because when you said they're just dumb, baby, pick up where you was about to start talking.
No, I'm just saying. I mean, women always try to justify their decision making and their stupid, ideology of, well, this is how I was told it was supposed to be. Girl, shut up. Shut up.
Come on now.
No, that's not how it's supposed to be. We are supposed to be nurturers and caregivers, and we are supposed to listen to our husbands. Like, I agree wholeheartedly about that. Like, when Vic and I got together and he asked me what I wanted, I told him straight up. I said, I'm a housewife. I am a spoiled housewife. I said, I like being at home and I like taking care of my kids and my husband. So however that looks,
fit it in.
And I will do my part.
Yep.
Yeah.
And there you go. And that's why she's married today.
Yep. And the trade-off is that I want to be a husband. There's a big difference in men that just want a woman versus men that are husbands that want a wife. So if you're a man and you want to be a husband and you just want a woman, that's something completely different that you're going to end up just fitting in, because you're operating from a place of need.
Because every woman ain't a wife.
Say that.
Absolutely. And every man is not a husband.
It's
so simple as that.
There's a lot of men that just want to be married. There's not a lot of men that really want to be husbands. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Which is why I came up with this topic, the needs versus wants. It's a lot of people that's looking for relationships out of need and not out of want. See, when you're in a want position, you don't have to settle. But you have to, but the want versus need has to be balanced out between the feminine and the masculine, because on the feminine side, if you think because of the work that you've done to fill up your resume is going to give you an opportunity to get the man that you want, that's cool. But be happy with the options that you have based off of what you want. Because you can't complain about a lack of options if what you want is not compatible to what the market is giving you. Because all you can have is what you can afford, and all you can afford is based off of what what you're willing to trade. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't have anything to do with money. You know, this is about character, integrity, and compatibility, you know. And the thing that men are hypergamous to is respect. And some men will trade their respect to just be in a relationship, to just say that they have a woman, to just say that they have a wife. And women on the other side that just operate from need, they'll settle for a piece of a man and end up pregnant by the wrong person. And then they continue their own cycle, because I also said today, like, the first time you make a mistake, it's on you. The second time you make a mistake, that one is also on you.
Yep.
The third time, it's a mental illness.
Yep.
It ain't no fool me once, fool me twice. No, you chose to position yourself for the options that you settled for. Because everybody settles, man. Because you can't.
And let's be real. I can. Let's be real, Vic. Let's be real, right? Because I can say myself as a single man dating, I'm now realistic to what I have to settle for, in a sense that in the realistic realm of how I'm dating and being marriage minded, right? The girls that I'm looking into getting involved with, I have to settle for that. They may have been in a relationship that didn't work out and they might have a kid, or a marriage that didn't work out and they might have a kid, because I'm not looking for that 25-year-old for sex, right? I've been there, did that, done it. I'm at the marriage minded. And I have to be realistic. I'm not keeping up with a 25-year-old, because we're just on two different levels, right? We're just on two different levels. And yeah, people say that girl will be more mature and she may want what I want. But at the end of the day, no. At the end of the day, no. All right? At the end of the day, there's going to come a time when she's way younger than me and she's way inexperienced to me, and she's going to go find what she wants.
Yeah, you're going to be missing each other.
So I have to, yeah, we're going to be just missing each other. Right, I can tell you the girls that I date now that are younger, they're fun and it's nice, but it's not like I'm gonna be marrying them. Right? They're good and entertaining. We get to go out. They tell me where they're gonna be. We show up as a gang, but that's it. It's not like I'm sitting down here going like, "Woo, you girls are nice."
Yeah.
You know?
I see Alonda in the comments said women make the mistake of waiting, hoping for marriage. Right? So I mean, see what I'm saying? It's like a balance to this thing. You know what I'm saying? Because I see the keyword mistake of waiting. Mistake. You know what I'm saying? She waited, or they're waiting, you know what I'm saying, and hoping for marriage. You know, so I guess, you know, it's, what are they supposed to do? You know, when should a woman pursue marriage after she's become financially successful? You know?
let's let you say we need ladies, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Maybe what you think about that?
Women need to be quiet.
He said women need to be quiet.
Yes, be quiet. Most women are very argumentative, and it's only because we were told and given this false narrative that we were princesses and that everybody is supposed to accommodate us because we are women. No, that doesn't make sense. There's a lot of women out here that want to be wives, but they haven't been taught properly how to be submissive, how to let the man lead. And so, unfortunately, society has told them, "Girl, you don't need a man to do this," and blah 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 blah, and you can do this on your own. And then they just shut up, cat lady, because that's exactly what you're gonna end up like.
Hey, look,
when you say submissive and you look at the definition of submissive, you're putting it more on, you know, humbly obedient. I wouldn't say anything past that, you know, or ready to submit, and you know,
right. Let's just hear from a woman. Yep, because like Antoine don't like the word submissive.
Like for me,
I don't either. I don't really like.
I don't like it.
And that's the thing. Like me, I'll tell you straight up, I am a submissive woman. Like, if he asks me to do something, trust and believe, if I don't agree with it, I'm gonna put my 2 cents in. But what I'm not gonna do is try to overtalk him. I'm not going to try to get into this big debate. We're just gonna agree to disagree. And then I'm gonna go in there and do the laundry. And then when I feel like talking about it again, I'm gonna bring it up. He might not be ready to talk about it, and that's fine. But eventually, for me, because I am headstrong, we gon' have that discussion, but I'm going to learn different tacts and different ways to change the wording or change my tone or my delivery. I'm going to talk to him and not at him. Women have that so bad. They talk at their men instead of talking to them. Right. Now, if you just got a guy who's like, well, I don't want to do that and blah, 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 blah. Oh, you picked him. Your fault. Figure it out. Figure it out.
I got you. So I've always wanted to ask this question, to a female and males. What is submissive to a woman that's making 6 figures, has her own house, gets a maid to clean her house? What's submissive to that woman? How does that work?
When he want to be with you, let him.
Okay.
It is what it is. When he wants his meals, cook. When he doesn't want to, and this is the thing. Again, it's all about how you say it. Women fail to realize our mouth is nothing but sugar, and then it can definitely be spice. We can word something in a way that will get y'all to do what we want, and vice versa. But for us, again, it's about how you deliver it.
Okay.
My opinion.
Okay. So I watched a clip, a while back, and it was a clip of a man that just pretty much cheated on his wife. She found out it was a white lady and a white man, and she was going off on him. And she was like, is she prettier than me? Dude said, nah. Is she younger than me? Dude said, nah. And she said, is she more excited than me? And he said, nah. And she was like, well, if she's none of those things, why couldn't it just be me? And he was like, she's softer than you.
Yep.
She's quieter than you.
Yep.
She doesn't cuss at me. She doesn't scream at me all the time. She's not argumentative. Yep. So I would say let's lose the word submissive, because
that man's a simp. Because that man's a simp. That man's a simp, and I'm going to tell you why. Because when she started, yeah, she had because when she started
being verbally abusive,
when she started being that, when she started being that way, that's when he should have put her in check as the man, as the leader. To me, submissive means a woman knows her role. Period. My father could never do what my mother did, and he knew his role. The garage and the basement. My mother knew her role. The living room, the kitchen, and the bedroom. And those things never got crossed.
Yeah.
And that's what submissive means to me. If a woman comes into my life, she knows her role as a woman. She's not submissive to me. Being in her role, being in her feminine role, she's going to know what to do. I don't have to tell her how to be a woman. I don't have to tell her to shut up, because she's going to know. And if she makes 6 figures, at the end of the day, she's going to know she's a woman. No matter what, money ain't going to change that. It'll make you live a better life, and you'll buy better lingerie from me. But at the end of the day, you're a woman. And that man did wrong by letting her even talk like that. Because if a man ain't coming home to it, he's definitely going to go find it. I always say, men are like dogs. You give us a long leash, we're going to piss and shit anywhere. Women are like cats, temperamental, and you have to stroke them right. You give a man a short leash, he's going to piss and shit. You give a dog a short leash, he's going to piss and shit right next to you. You give it a long leash, it'll roam around a tree. That's the woman. That's the other woman. That's the problem. So if you let her take your role as a man, that's what's going to happen.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to the stage, none other than the angry man that's still trying to learn, aka Christopher McClellan.
I don't know where Chris and Antoine live, but y'all motherfuckers need to get a new internet provider.
That's still
goddamn, y'all hazy as hell down here.
I'm choppy.
You're a little delayed. Yeah. But the thing is, man, I really want to say, hey man, look, I appreciate my wife Gina sitting in, because we keep saying we need women to be part of the conversation.
Right.
And we need to hear, I believe we need to hear more married women talking about married women that are also wives, because there's plenty of married women that are not wives. And we need to talk amongst each other from from places of experience and not need. A lot of people speaking from need when they're talking about relationships, not want. When you have what you want, you see the world a little bit differently. When you're having what want implies that there are certain things that have already been fulfilled in your life. When you're unfulfilled, you're in a place of need if you still desire to have those things complete whatever your plan is. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to say in public thank you to my wife Gina for offering her, you know what I'm saying, feminine touch on the conversation. And y'all see where I get it from.
And I want y'all to know too.
Well put, well put, Gina.
Look, and I'm just saying, I want y'all to know that I've always been this way. Like this ain't just because I've been with Vic. I've only been with Vic, like married to him for a year, but I've always been this way. I was a wife for 22 years. Victor is my third relationship in my entire life. And me and Vic are the same age.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I've always known the role of a wife, even though I've never had great examples. But I've always known, I've watched family members, I've seen friends, I've seen random women, and I'm just like, oh, I'm not doing that. No, that don't make sense to me. Absolutely not. Because one thing about me, if it don't make sense, I'm not gonna do it.
I got you. I understand completely. You know, with me, I always look at, you know, where are we at today? You know what I'm saying? I understand that traditional roles between men and women have been traditional roles between men and women. But, you know, I say in 2024 in the United States, we're not talking about anywhere else. We're not talking about any other continent. We're not talking about any other country. We're talking about the United States. You know, where does this these roles of men and women, where do they fit today? You know, because I think that's the disconnect. You know, we're saying that it's supposed to be one way, and a lot of modern women are saying, nah, not like that anymore. And, you know, we're educated now, and we're more aware, and we're more woke than ever. So yeah, we can't technically be like that anymore. And to be honest with you, a lot of people don't know this. You know, wife, you know, comes from an old Scottish word, you know, which means old woman or uneducated woman. A lot of people don't know that. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is that when we look at, like I said, today's role as a woman and as a man, you know, in 2024, are we still going to be able to hang on to this kind of archaic way of thinking? Y'all kind of dig what I'm saying? I know you don't dig what I'm saying because you guys.
I do because I look at it like this. I don't look at it as a whole. I look at the principles of actually being a helpmate.
Right. There you go. That's my word. That's where I'm at.
A lot of women, they like when we take vows, like when we get married, they say all that in the vows. And some women get hung up on that.
Right.
And that's not necessarily how things are in 2024. We get that. But everybody's relationship is different. And this goes back to when you are courting or when you are dating someone, maybe that's something that y'all need to establish from the gate.
Right.
Instead of just jumping into it and then be like, oh, well, this is what you're supposed to do, or this is how you're supposed to treat me. Says who? Says who?
So I'm going to present you with the scenario that I presented with Vic and Antoine one time. I just want to see where you go with this. And I'm talking to Vic's wife. What's your name again?
Gina.
I'm presenting this to Gina. Okay, so right. So if we're in our home and we have an invader come in our home, right? And me as the man, I'm supposed to be the protector, right? That's the traditional word. That's the traditional role of a man. He is the protector. We have an invader. This invader comes in here, and this invader is strapped. This invader has a gun himself, and he is meaning to do harm to the individuals in this home. So I have two kids. Let's say Gina and Vic, you guys have two kids. One's 3, one's 10. You know, fairly young. This invader comes in. I go to defend our house, and unfortunately, the invader has a better look at me than I have at him, and he shoots me and I go down and I'm dead, what then is the role of a woman?
Protect the kids at all costs.
So you become a what?
A protector.
Exactly. So to say that a man is the protector is complete utter bullshit. You are only the protector until you go the fuck down. After you go the fuck down, your wife has to take that role because you're no longer available. You feel what I'm saying? This is what I'm saying. You can look at me like I'm crazy, Antoine, but if you're fucking dead, you're fucking dead.
Wait, stop. Stop it right now. Stop
If
it.
you are
I
fucking
need to
dead,
say
you are
something real
fucking
quick.
dead, bro.
I need to say something real quick because
Come on, Chris.
Cavi,
Come on, Chris.
because Cavi, you just proved and then disproved your point in the same sentence.
How the fuck did I do that? Explain.
Meaning this, you made her a protector, but what had to happen in order for her to become a protector?
I had to go down.
Exactly. She's not a protector until I make her want to put her in a position to be one. You need to stop this nonsense.
This is why when Gina said,
you need to cut this out.
Listen to what Gina said. She said, we are helpmeets.
But you put it,
man of the
but
day.
nope,
So
I'm not gonna let you do that.
Helping me the man of the day. If I go down as a protector, if I go down as a protector, she has to help meet that demand.
What you did was you took the man out of the picture in order to make the woman a protector. So in order for there to even be any kind of protection, the man has to be there first. Jesus H. Why are we having this stupid ass conversation about protection? This might be the see, do you understand why I'm always so mad?
If I'm sitting here,
why I'm always so angry?
Because sometimes
this is
the
a
talking
dumb
points,
conversation
because
to have,
sometimes the
Cavi.
talking
I'm
points
sorry.
are fucking ridiculous.
And if you want me to keep it real,
I'm gonna tell you why.
You are doing a lot of fear mongering
I'm gonna tell
right
you why.
now.
I'm gonna tell you.
You are doing a lot of fear mongering right now, and I'm
Come
not.
on, Chris. Yeah,
I'm not feeling the fear mongering, and I'm not feeling the whole let's play the absolute worst case scenario just to prove my point. I'm not gonna let you do that because the stuff that you're talking about, it's possible, but it's not probable. People ain't breaking into people's houses like that and shooting people just to do it. You just see it a lot on the internet because you always in your Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever page. And
didn't we just see Sonya Mason get fucking shot in the head by a cop, nigga?
We'll be back.
This is not something. And you know what? And you know what, Cavi? I'll give you that because that whole situation, from the way I looked at it from top down, was shitty. She should not have gone out like that, man. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I saw the video and I'm looking at it as a person who, like I said before, I took a shower. So I'm looking at it from an objective point of view. The way she went out, it was trash. They didn't have to do her like that. They did not have to do her like that. But I do not see that happening on a regular, continual basis. It's just shoved in our faces. And you know what's funny? It's shoved in our faces right around the time that a big decision needs to be had for the nation. And they need us to be a little distracted so that way they can make the moves that they really need to make. We're not this stupid, man. I'm telling you, man, we're not this dumb. I refuse to believe that we are this stupid and can't see this nonsense, man. I refuse to believe it. This is the dumb conversation that I really don't like having because it's a dumb conversation to have. Listen, man, I say this all the time and I'm gonna mean this. We need each other way more than mainstream media and social media will lead us out to be, man. We need each other. And I can't look at the quote unquote most educated group and not look at you and say, how can you be bragging about these expensive pieces of paper that you got on your wall just to let somebody know that you knew how to memorize some shit for 4 years and you paid an obnoxious amount of money for it? Why do I have to take that into consideration when you so fucking stupid with what really matters, which is us? You understand what I'm saying? How can we do that? We're not this stupid, man. We're not this dumb.
Hey, Alonda has something that she wanted to say.
Yeah,
she posted it twice.
I'm coming. Hey, because like this is what I want to say to this right here. So Alonda says, I don't like the idea of gender roles. Everyone should find a lid for their pot. I disagree. I think all of this that we're talking about is about gender roles. This is about and that's exactly why
that's exactly why most black women are single because of that right there. Yeah, they don't know their place.
Antoine, like I'm gonna let you have it in a second, right? Because I don't subscribe to people that don't like gender roles because that's reality. Because you expect me to do certain things as a man, that in itself identifies gender roles. If I'm in a relationship, like me and my wife, Like, I'm not changing a flat tire. Well, I'm going to change the flat tire. If I got to change the flat tire, I'm not going to expect her to do it. She shouldn't have to come home and figure out why the grass isn't cut. I take out the trash. There's certain things that she's going to do that she's going to prioritize differently from me. I can do the laundry. I do it when I'm here. You know what I'm saying?
Vic, stop making women into fucking damsels of distress, man.
No, I'm not talking about
doing that,
no,
bro. Because at the end of the day, if your wife is 6 hours, if your wife is 6 hours away from you, and she has to change the goddamn tire, she needs to change the goddamn.
Cavi, stop it. You just made women a damsel in distress with your scenario.
We're not this stupid. We're not this dumb.
You just made women a damsel in distress in your scenario. And I'm just telling you basic stuff. Gender roles exist. They happen. Because if she's changing the flat while I'm in the car, what's wrong? Something's wrong with that. Unless I done got both my legs blown off or something like that. I've seen videos where men that don't have their limbs are building doll houses for their daughters and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not an excuse for a man. You overcome and then you assume the role that you're supposed to have. Because if you have to rely on her to do things that you would normally be able to do or should do or wouldn't do or would do if you were by yourself, then why are you in a relationship with someone? You know what I'm saying? This is about being a helpmeet, right? If you're a helpmate, that says that there's a role in that. And there's certain things that are encompassed by being available to support the person that takes care of you. And that goes for both people. Expectations define roles.
And there's another side to that too.
But
yeah, there's another side to that too. There's the side there's this side right here. Maybe there's a masculine thing that I'm supposed to do that you might be better at me than.
And you
okay, how about I delegate that? We're not. That's what I'm saying, man. We're not looking at women as damsels in distress, man. Like I say all the time, man, when a woman is under our covering, there is a nature level primal instinct to want to take care of her, man. That's just how we're built. It has nothing to do with gender roles or nothing like that. There's just certain shit that we don't want our woman doing. And it's not a masculine, feminine thing. It's I don't think you should be doing this because I'm here and you don't have to. But the problem is too many people don't know their position and they trying to play the same position and get what they want out of the position that they really in, and it's failing. That's really what it is.
Come on,
not
Antoine.
this stupid.
But why are you making it? Listen, she's a woman. You know what? It's the simplest thing as when you're walking on a sidewalk, the woman walks on the inside, you walk on the outside. That's fucking normal because you're protecting her from anything that could come up and hit her. I mean, that's like you. I shouldn't have to tell you that as a man, right? When you go to a door, you're opening your car door for your lady. I'm not saying she can't open the door herself. That's my role. Gender roles exist for a reason. We don't think about dinner. They do. We don't think about feeding the kids. They do. We just think about paying for the groceries. We just think about, hey, but honey, are we cool on our vacation? Are we good? Yes. Where are we going? Okay, cool. How much? I mean, it's not about saying she can't do it. She's a woman for a reason. She doesn't pee standing up. And this stuff about how men should let a woman, if I die, a woman is gonna.
I knew you were gonna do that.
You're damn right. If I get sick, she becomes the lead. If I can't function for work, she becomes the lead, taking care of me and making sure the kids still get off to school. Why is that so complicated? And it's what this woman said right here.
All
about
you guys are proving,
that's
all
exactly
you guys
why
are
black
proving
people,
my point right.
That's exactly why most black women are single, because they have a single mentality.
A woman has to back him up, period, point blank. So the role completely fucking disappears.
No, backing him up would be killing the man that killed that hurt him. If her role is her primary role is to get the kids out of harm's way. That's the role. She did her job. She didn't become a protector. She was already responsible for the kids. She's doing her job. Stop reaching, Cavi. So, baby, what you got?
Nah, Vic, he right. We supposed to give her a trophy and throw her a parade for doing what she's supposed to do.
What I'm saying is the gender role
let's hear from
disappears miraculously. It magically disappears when a man
Let's hear
goes
it from a
down.
woman. Let's hear it from a woman.
I can change a tire. I know how to change oil in a car. I can take out the garbage. I know how to shoot a gun. But guess what? I don't want to take out the garbage.
Mhm.
I don't want to change the tire. I know how to cut the grass. I don't want to do it
Mhm.
because, again, I know that I have somebody that is willing to step up and do that. And so if he's willing to do that, then I need to fall back and make sure, guess what? Dinner's done. I need to make sure that coffee's made in the morning before I go to work.
Mhm.
I need to make sure that them kids is taken care of. Look, it's gotten to the point now, our kid is a dog. Will take care of EJ before I go to work, so he don't have to do nothing.
Right.
But when I'm not here, that's your job.
Mhm.
Make her coffee in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Before
I
she
mean,
get
it
up
just
now.
is what it is. I mean, like, I'm okay with the gender roles because it doesn't bother me. Like, for me, I know what I bring and I know what I do. I'm not expecting every woman to do that, but I would just hope that most men that want to be in relationships can look at women and vet them to see, okay, this woman, she's down for me.
Mhm.
She's willing to go the extra mile if for whatever reason, God forbid, I am incapacitated in whatever way. I know that she's gonna do it no matter what. Like if Vic all of a sudden just like if he woke up tomorrow and couldn't move his limbs and all that stuff, guess who's paying the bills? Even though I don't have to pay the bills right now, but guess who's gonna do it? Me.
Mhm.
It's a duty.
It's a duty.
That's it, and that's the thing. When you go to work, you do stuff you don't like, and you think it's somebody else's job
Every day.
every day. But the duty is to make sure that you represent the place that you work for the right way. And that's what it is. That's what the role is. Do not misrepresent the relationship. You don't go out here and put yourself in compromising positions. You know what I'm saying? That's just it.
Trust me, I be wanting to go out all the time, but I also understand the type of woman that I am, and I can't be out in the streets because people see me and they take like, oh, yeah, she's easy. I'm not. I'm a whole thug. I don't do that.
Mhm.
Don't get me wrong. I can defend myself, but guess what? I also know I'm not going to put myself in a situation that's going to make his life be in jeopardy or our household in jeopardy just because I want to be out for a couple of hours and have some fun. Absolutely not.
Mhm. Mhm.
It's a choice.
It's a role.
It's a choice. Damn a role. At
Mhm.
this point, it's a choice.
Come on, somebody.
Exactly, Cabby. Just like if you're out with your lady, let's just say you're out with your lady and your lady causes trouble with another man in the bar. I'm telling my lady, listen, get behind me, stay quiet, don't make any more trouble, don't put me in harm's way. And I'm telling you, if she ain't my wife, if she ain't my wife, I'm walking. If she ain't my wife, I'm walking away. If she ain't my wife, I'm walking away. I really don't care what happens to you. I'm not putting myself in harm's way for you.
Of course.
If she's my wife, I'm gonna push her up. I'm gonna grab her and pull her out of the way. That ain't gonna be a discussion. I'm grabbing her. I'm gonna tell her in front of everybody, shut the F up. You're not putting us and this family in harm's way. That's my job. I'm picking her up and throwing her out. Right? That's my job. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's our role to protect her from herself. And let's be realistic. All that time, if you get sick, unlike getting shot and you're down, if you get sick, your wife's gonna know the role she has to play is to pick up the slack. I mean, that's not rocket science. So she's always in a leading role. She's just not the leader at the moment.
Look,
So I don't see what's the disconnect.
Everybody
what's so crazy?
When people play chess, who needs to be protected on the board at all costs?
The king.
The queen.
Your king, of course. Your
Oh,
king.
the king. Sorry.
The king. Because you can lose the queen and win the game.
So, with that being said, the queen needs to
Be disciplined.
be disciplined enough to survey everything else and know when it's time for her to step up and know when it's time for her to sit down and be quiet.
Come on,
That's
now.
really just it.
And you know what's so crazy about that whole statement?
Yeah.
I adore my queen so much, and I want to hear what she got to say so much, and I value what she got to say so much that I'm going to come to her when I got to make a big decision that affects everybody because she's supposed to be my value counsel. We're not this stupid. Like, we're not, man. We're not this dumb. We're
And
not this
honestly,
dumb.
Chris, honestly,
We're not, man. We're not this dumb.
men, and I think like in order for us to get that way, most men have to be comfortable enough to talk to their women, but then it falls back on us. Most women need to shut up and stop being so judgmental and listen to them. Take the meat and potatoes of what they're saying, and like he always says, get out of your feelings. Me personally, I used to be the very woman that he talks about all the time. I always had something to say. I always felt like I needed to have the last word, blah, 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 blah. There are so many times I tell Vic, I'm like, damn, that used to be me. I didn't know how to shut up before. Never mind. Like, I get it. Because again, I get way more when I sit back and just listen. My grandma always said, you got 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. You're supposed to listen more than you talk.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, not sorry.
Nope. Hey, and before, let me say this right here. I made this comment in the thread towards Alonda. There's a patriarchal and a matriarchal demographic to our society. That's why some people believe in gender roles and some people don't. The matriarchal society that we live in, or that some people live in, they don't believe in gender roles because they're used to seeing women in the lead, making all of the decisions, and without having to consult a man or having a man to actually assume the roles that they actually do. And the patriarchal part of the mindset is that a lot of us come from families that had men in them, whether they were good men or bad men, that's besides the point. You had men that were in the mix that was part of the decision making in the fabric of the family. So the consideration for men's input is absolutely necessary in those formats, because we talk about what's the percentages of homes that's led by single mothers, like 55% in our society? It's well over 50%.
Yeah.
So though that's over 50% of people that don't need to consult a man before they make a decision that affects the entire family. Then you got the side of that's the remainder of society that has men in consideration in the format of the family. We think completely different. We're not the same, And if you come from a family that has responsible men, you don't let your women do your job, and you keep the woman that you got. So you stick with them and you do the right thing and you operate based on your duties. You know what I'm saying? Because marriage is about duty to the other person. You have to be of service in order to even be useful in a relationship. So if you take somebody on one side that doesn't have any connection to service to the opposite sex, then no, they're not going to consider gender roles as being valid. That's easy to see.
My first marriage, I was a masculine wife, no lie. And it had nothing to do with anything other than the fact that I was married to somebody that would not step up and tell me no. Even though I knew.
There you go.
After a while, knew, oh man, I can run over this nigga, whatever. He gonna agree with everything that I say. But after a while, that shit got exhausting. I would ask, hey, what do you think about that? Whatever you want to do. No, tell me, no, bitch, that's dumb.
Jesus H.
Like, don't do that. And this is why. Like, even if the woman counters and says, well, why? Oh, because I said so. Even if you don't have an explanation.
That's why she's married.
Twice.
Some people got more babies than married.
Yeah.
Twice. Look, all my children are grown. All my children are over their 20s. I have a 5-year-old grandson. And let me tell you something. If I had met Vic before, man, look, I know for a fact my life would be different because trust and believe, He hasn't changed his stance. He might have grown. He might have grown as an individual and as a man himself, but the principles and everything that he's been regurgitating over the years on his podcast, it's been the same stuff. And there are times, like, I have 3 older brothers, and my brothers told me after I divorced my husband, oh yeah, we never liked him. And I'm like, why didn't y'all tell me?
Y'all hear that, man?
Because you really think I would have married this dude and stayed married for 2 decades to him? My brothers told
See,
me.
man.
I will still say this, no, Gina, I will still say this. The fact that you even said you're married and you had your kids, I have to commend you on that. That's the key words you're saying right now that's making it perfectly okay. You were married. You were able to freaking commit to a relationship under the roof of God, and that is to be commended. Most would take the baby mama route. You took the right route.
I was a baby mama one time, and I vowed I would never be anybody else's baby mama. I had my first child when I was 16, 17 years old. I went through 6.5 years of being a baby's mama, and I was like, there is no way in hell and on God's green earth that I would ever do that again. Ever.
And that's why you got married, because you put that aside. That's why you attracted a marriage, because you, oh my God, that's so, you believed in it. And oh, you see that right there, man. If more women would think like that, they'd be married. You were able to put your feelings aside and do the right thing.
In the cultivation of a healthy relationship, however that looks. I don't care about what society says a relationship should look like, because at the end of the day, like he always says, if I ain't sleeping with you, if I ain't laying down with you, if you ain't pooting on me at night, guess what? I don't care what the fuck you talking about. Because at the end of the day, everybody's boo-boo and blood is the same. Your boo-boo stink and your blood is red. But if you are not taking care of what you need to take care of home, I'm not listening to a motherfucking thing that you got to say. Whether it's coming from a woman, whether it's coming from a man. Absolutely not.
If I don't come in her, and if I don't come from her, she can't do nothing but work for me or twerk for me.
Nah,
ain't no in between.
That's his thing, but I'm saying.
But it's the truth, you know what I'm saying? Because no woman comes before her.
And no man comes before him. Like, not even my own brothers. He knows how I feel about my brothers. But ultimately, he has the last say. I don't care what my brothers are talking about. I'll listen. But regardless, I'm always consult with my husband, because who do I live with? Who takes care of me? I don't do nothing around this house. I swipe when I want to. I drive what I want. But I don't care what society says.
I agree.
And here we are on the internet trying to ask a question: who deserves to eat first, the man or the kid? And she just listed out all the ways that she helps her husband. We're not this fucking stupid, man. We're not this stupid, man. We're not this dumb.
Man.
We're not this dumb.
Tabby, I don't know what type of man you're talking about. Men know. Real women know. Men know. Real women know.
Deep down, real women know. Deep down, real women know. Like,
yes, real women know.
All right. So Vic knows.
You know what? I'm not even gonna say real
Vic knows
women
who
know.
I am.
Yeah.
Vic knows who I am. So very, very well studied in history. Very well studied in ancient history. Specifically, very well studied in ancient African history. So for one thing, we have to understand where gender roles come from. Gender roles is not an African thing. It's not an ancient African thing. It's actually Victorian era. At Victorian era is where that came from. So it's a European thing, right? So that's why it's so foreign to us. We don't know what this is. It doesn't quite feel right. Something felt a little off.
Yeah,
there's a reason, fellas.
It's matriarchal. So I agree with you what you're saying.
Right. Africa was matriarchal, period. It had the most powerful female rulers ever. Yep. You know what I'm saying? So it's totally different from what we're talking about. And this is why I think we as African Americans are way the fuck off, because this is foreign to us. It makes no fucking sense psychologically. It really doesn't. There didn't have to be gender roles in ancient Africa, because there was a certain mindset that said we together have to build this thing. We together have to survive. We together have to fight. There wasn't no 40-hour work week, fellas. There wasn't no such thing as a fucking check or a banking account. We gotta understand
What are you talking about, man? Men were always. What are you saying? Men were always hunters and gatherers. Women were the nurturers and cookers. What are you talking about?
No. Women were in the garden, brother. They were the people that made agriculture. And women made agriculture. Men didn't make that.
Can I ask a question? Can I ask a question, please?
Listen, women became a gender role the minute Adam gave his rib. That's when it was a deal. Like, what are you talking about?
If you believe in
Can
that,
I ask a question, please?
Come on, Chris.
I would like to ask a question, please.
Come on, Chris.
Go ahead.
You brought up all of this history and all of these lessons and all of this stuff that you studied, but the one thing you never studied was who started this stupid ass fight that we're having right now in 2024.
We did. Nobody else started it. We started it. This
Who's we? Who's we?
Us, black people within ourselves. There's nothing outside of this fucking
Listen, man. Listen.
Ain't no fucking white people here.
Let me go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and ask this question too. You did all of this studying and you came back with all of this stuff about all of this stuff that happened so long ago, but we can't be educated about what really matters right now in the circumstances that we are in 2024. Are you fucking kidding me? We are not this stupid.
Chris?
We are not this dumb. We know that there are things that we need to do right now, and it starts at a culture level. And you know what? This is the divide right here.
God damn it, let me speak.
Is the nah, because that's the divide. No, because that was the divide. That's the divide right there. Mute everybody's mic because I wanted everybody to see exactly what you were doing. Do you see how you were just talking and nobody could hear you, but you thought everybody could hear you, and I still got my point across? That just let me know that you have absolutely no intention on even hearing what I'm saying without tying some type of emotion to it or moving the goalpost to the point where you have to be right. This is what stifles communication, and this is the biggest thing that we got to get over. We have to learn how to listen to each other, even if our opinions are different, because our experiences are different. And like I said before, we have to understand that there is a difference between us talking about a specific behavior and talking about that fucking person, because they're not the same. Too many of us have our behavior wrapped up in who we are that we can't take constructive criticism or hear another difference of opinion. You understand what I'm saying? We got to start learning how to listen to each other.
Active listening will.
That was the whole divide right there. Now I feel like I can go home right now. I feel like I can go dancing right now because that was the biggest thing that's messing us up all together as people, not just man versus woman, man versus man, woman versus woman. Don't nobody want to listen to each other, and everybody want to be fucking right, and everybody talking over each other. You understand what I'm saying? Quit trying to invalidate everybody else's experiences just because you didn't have them, and quit trying to use the last fucking resort in a dire situation to prove a point that's possible but not probable, when there's a whole spectrum of shit that's wrong with us that we can actually fix and that we actually can control.
Chris,
are not this stupid, man. We know better.
What's the divorce rate? Chris, what's the divorce rate? What's the divorce rate right now, Chris? What's the divorce rate in America?
I believe it's 50%, and I believe 80% of that is initiated by women for three specific reasons. One of them is infidelity, the other one is finances, and the most recent one that people are actually using is irreconcilable differences. Basically, her saying she happy and not having to have no fucking proof behind it. She just want to get out of the marriage and get what she got out of it. So what made you ask me that question, sir? You forget you dealing with somebody that used to work in the system. I had to know these stats.
50%. So it's actually 42. It's not 50, but it's 42%, right? Okay. So 42% of divorces.
You see what I'm saying?
In America, with these gender roles that we have, that's
try
supposed
to spin
to
it around and make it our fault.
That's supposed to be
try
fucking
to spin it
working.
around and make it our fault.
For one thing, Chris, I haven't said anything was a man's fault. I haven't said that. I haven't said that at all. I haven't said that anything is a man's fault. I'm saying that the problems that we have in society right now amongst men and women are because of this ridiculous notion that was invented in the Victorian era. This is something that is foreign to us.
I think
it's foreign to almost every non-white culture. So that's the reason why this shit ain't fucking working. And it ain't really working no fucking well.
people could just
Okay.
be quiet and do what's right within their household,
Right, right.
not
You see how he
concern
didn't address
themselves.
nothing I said though?
What did,
Do you
what did you want me
understand?
to address?
Do you
What did you want me to
understand why I'm
address? Tell me
always
what you
mad?
want me to address.
Do you
I'm muted.
now?
Y'all had
You
y'all
know what?
chance. Hold up. Go ahead, baby.
I'm just saying, if people could just focus on themselves and what's going on in their household and not concern themselves with how things were in the past, how things were back, how your parents were and things of that nature, because we're all different. And so when you get with someone, when you commit yourself to that relationship, it's going to be different because he was raised with both of his parents. Granted, my mom and dad were married, but they divorced when I was young. And I watched my mom raise us as a single mother. And I was just like, nope, that's not me. My mom looks completely different because she took that masculine part and she used that throughout her entire life. It caused her to lose jobs because she felt like she needed to have the last word. It caused her to be single after she turned 33 because she couldn't be quiet. That's really it. And I think if people could just do what's right within their relationship, regardless of what society says it should be or should not be, I think a lot of relationships, that divorce rate number would go down. Like, I didn't get married to my first husband to be divorced. I mean, damn, I got married at 21, 22. Like, I wanted to be a wife. I wanted to have a husband. But after a while, it's just like, hey, man, this ain't working. Like, me and my ex-husband, we're still great friends to this day. Like, we will still hang out with all of our children and everything. But I knew that I couldn't be his wife anymore because I was on a different path than he was. Like, we didn't want the same things after a while. And that's just it. Like, the communication barrier, I didn't want a man that would always agree with me because trust and believe, I was wrong a lot of the times. I did a lot of bullshit. And I can acknowledge that. And in all honesty, I apologized to that man after I divorced him. I'm like, my bad. Now, don't get me wrong. I didn't apologize for my let's see, how do I want to word this? Fuck it. I didn't apologize for cheating, but I apologized for hurting his feelings. Yeah. You like that, Cabby? I saw you.
Yeah.
I didn't apologize for the act, but I apologize for disrespecting him as a man.
That's all you can ask for.
That's it. That's all. But would I cheat?
Wait a minute. He wasn't, like you said, he wasn't a real man anyways, right? Because he was a simp, right? Because he let you be that to him.
No,
So,
I never
right?
looked at him. I never looked at him as not being a real man. He just didn't have the
Wait. Your description. Hold on a second. You described him as a guy that let you do what you did and talk to him the way you talked to him, right?
No.
Right,
I never
right.
disrespected
That's
him.
how you
I
describe
never
it.
talked to him negatively.
Wait.
I never talked to him negatively.
Wait. Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. You described him as a man. These are your words. You described him as a man that you were able to talk to him, but you didn't feel like he had no rebuttal. He wasn't checking you. He was letting you talk the way you talk and treat him the way you treat him, right? Right?
No.
Wait, that's what you said. Now, you
No,
didn't say that? Wait a minute. You didn't say that?
I never said
Wait a minute. Wait. Hold on. So I misunderstood what you said.
Yeah. There's a delay.
I never talked to him, and I was
There's
never
a delay.
respectful to him. But I also moved in a way that wasn't respectful to our relationship. I was never verbally disrespectful to my husband. I always respected him when it came to communication, but as far as my actions, I was on some bald-headed hoe shit.
She just did what she wanted to because the dude wasn't gonna say nothing.
Right. But he didn't check you and put you in your place when you were doing that, right?
No, he did not.
That's what I'm understanding. Okay. That's not a man. Because a man that has his shit together would know you're replaceable. And you should not be talking to me like that. Because I'm the man. I wear the pants, you wear the skirt. Don't get that twisted. If you're good enough to talk to me like that, then you're good enough to talk to the other guy outside the house. That's what he should have said. Because you will not come into this household under my roof and talk to me or let me get away with the way you're treating me. That's what I'm saying. Because that was disrespecting all the men out there.
I never talked to him in a disrespectful way.
She talking about the verbal communication part.
She was always nice to him. She
I'm
did
not
what the fuck she wanted to do.
talking about the verbal. I'm not talking about the verbal.
But
I'm saying the way he let you. No, what I'm saying is you said that you were able to be and move in a certain way that you felt he wasn't being a man enough. You got tired of it. And I said, if he was a real man, he wouldn't let you get tired of shit because he would call you out on it because he would not allow you to act and move that way. Because if I say that's a man, that would be insulting men like me that wouldn't give you that. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So any man that any man that lets a woman have that role is not a man. Period. He's not. Because a man that's got his stuff together, that holds the fort down, is going to say, baby, your role is over there. When I need you here, that's when I'll call for you. And if you think you could talk to me like that, you and I shouldn't be together. Because I'm not that guy.
Yeah, Chris, no.
We're not this stupid.
Hang on a second. Cavi, what you got?
Man, I'm like,
you got to unmute.
Stop muting me, bruh.
It said you was muted. You know what I'm saying?
But
nah, you never brought it back when you brought everybody back. You said leave Cavi here.
Shut that nigga up. He making too much sense. But read them comments. Read them comments. Read them comments. We got
I'm on it right now. Let's see if it's right. Like, because he's such a troll too. So I agree with your assertion that what we're doing is not working. It's time for a new approach to relationship. Yeah, gender roles. Because like number one, what validates that opinion? Is it a relationship or are you by yourself? Because you can't. It's certain things you can't say when you're not in a relationship.
I agree with what she's saying, and I'm not in a relationship. I'm fucking married.
You're married. So, unmarried people can't really talk about what a gender role is.
Well, I can, and I'm agreeing with what she said.
That's why I said unmarried. I said unmarried. You know what I'm saying? Because until you have to be in a committed relationship with a woman, or as a woman that's with a man, in a traditional heterosexual relationship, there's going to be natural roles that you fall into. You know what I'm saying? Like, now, granted, you pick up each other's slack. Like, I wash the dishes. You know what I'm saying? I'll do the laundry. That's not hard. That's stuff that I would have to do no matter what if I was by myself. That's not a role. That's like we're assigning.
Congratulations, you're a grown up.
You're a grown up. We're assigning tasks to what the role is that she has to be comforting to me in the way that I expect her to be comforting to me as a woman. Otherwise, you're going to question, you know what I'm saying, if you heterosexual or homosexual, you know what I'm saying? Because if anybody can fill that role, then yeah. And if gender roles don't matter, then go get you anybody that you can work with. If gender roles don't matter and you like the opposite sex, then good luck.
I needed a masculine man. Sorry, I just did.
And that's a man. That's a man.
Can I say something?
Okay, but I'm just saying. Wait, Vic. Let's be clear, right? I sure hope we all three agree on this. A man knows his role as a man, and a woman knows her role as a feminine woman, right? That's not something that you need a relationship for. You know your role as a woman. You know you wear the skirt. You know what you're supposed to do as a woman. When you come together, then there's that understanding of how you operate and move together in your gender roles, right?
And Antoine, understand most people most people can't even come together to have that type of discussion because everybody feels like, oh, I'm right, you're wrong, blah, 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 blah. No, it's not that.
That's like
No, wait.
Vanessa
Wait.
is dumb.
But let's be real. I'm just breaking it down simple. Coming together, yes, you have to find the right person you can communicate that to, right? That I agree with Gina 100%. And I agree with Gina when she said she left that man based on how he was conducting himself. I agree. Like she said, she needs a masculine man. Personally, I don't believe in masculinity and femininity. In a sense that betas and alphas and all that shit, I'm not part of that circle, right? And I have my own reasons. But if I was a woman, I would absolutely do what Gina did, because I think every woman should go for that leader, should go for that man that's going to hold it down, right? And she should know her role as a woman and what she's asking for coming in. And Gina, like she said, she sought that out and found it. And I believe she got married because she knew how to be a woman. So the man that's a masculine saw the femininity woman in her and said, this woman is worth marrying because he's the damn man. Period. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying.
That's how that was. Nick just saw my booty and wanted to get married.
Come up
And look, Gina, that's exactly what the fuck it was. Don't let Vic lie to you. He always said that. He say my wife got a big old fat ass. That's exactly what it was.
I can stroke that to infinity. Do you hear me?
Jesus
Come up
Christ.
off the cheeks.
He saw them big ass cheeks and was like, "Oh my god, I got him!
I don't think I feel comfortable on this live stream talking about my homie girl booty. I don't feel comfortable.
He talk about it. He talk about it.
I don't think I'm
He is
comfortable with that.
infatuated with her
That's
peach.
what we're supposed to be at.
I feel a little. I
That's
feel
a
like I
gender
shouldn't
role.
be a part of this conversation.
The gender role, I got the meat and she got the cheeks. That's the real gender role. Stop bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
I don't feel safe.
Hey,
This is not a safe space for me.
Hey Vic. This brother Randall Thompson the second.
Come on.
Read Randall Thompson the second. He got a lot of stuff to say right here. You need to bring him on.
Let me see
If
here.
you got a camera.
Look, hey,
Jesus.
Unmarried people don't know what a role is until they have to play.
yeah,
That's
if you're not in a regular practicing role with
Listen,
someone
man.
else,
Oh,
all
bullshit.
you're doing is conceptualizing what you're supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're not there, you're not waking up next to a woman every day. Yeah, you got a principal idea. All you got is an idea. But until you start acting in that and then dealing with what her good days and your bad days look like, and still got to be together on the same sheet of music, and realizing that it's something outside of your relationship that's causing you angst and not the person that you're with.
Right.
You don't know what your role is.
Right.
You just got an idea.
You know your role as a man, though, Vic. You know your role as a man.
We're
You're going in
conflating
there
the
knowing
two.
your role as a man.
We're conflating
Like,
the two.
holy crap, how does that so
We're
hard to
conflating the
understand?
two.
Chris, let me
Hey,
talk.
We're conflating the
Randall
two.
Thompson the second said I call bullshit on that one, Antoine. Randall, could you break that
As
down
do
and
I,
tell us
but-
exactly
Well, listen,
what
sorry,
what you call
you
a
know
bullshit?
where
Can I
in the
say something,
relationship,
please?
but I do.
I just need to say something.
Yes.
I need to say something because
Come on, Chris. Before we get
this
to
is
the comments,
something
you go ahead.
that this is something that gets misconstrued a lot. A lot of people don't want to differentiate the difference between how to move as a man solo and how to move as a man in a union. You understand what I'm saying? They're the same, but they're not. As a foundation, yes, you know what type of man you're supposed to be, and you know what the fuck you're supposed to be doing because you're a man. You understand what I'm saying? But when you're in a union, yes, you still have to do those things, but you also have to do those things and acclimate to somebody that you brought under your covering, because you got a different set of responsibilities now. You got to take care of her. You understand what I'm saying? And taking care of her can also mean making sure that she actually has the space to come to you and say, hey, we need to talk about this. And you actually look at her like her opinion means something because you love her and you married her. You understand what I'm saying? The two, they're conflated a lot when we have these conversations about relationships, because how you move as a man gets moved over into how you move as a man without even factoring in that you have a partner. And a lot of these, I'm going to say the women that represent women in mainstream media and in social media are giving the men a completely different viewpoint as to what they want. You understand what I'm saying? They're saying they want specific things, but they don't want what we potentially could bring them. You understand what I'm saying? If it hinders them in a way where they feel like they can't advance because they under somebody, if that makes any sense. You understand what I'm saying? So if we can just differentiate the two when we have these conversations and not just focus on the foundation of being a man, but focus on the foundation of being a man and your responsibilities in the union, I think we may be able to push this conversation a little farther, because they get conflated a lot, and they're not the same. How you move individually, that's your foundation, but how you move with somebody else is supposed to change because you got somebody else with you. You understand what I'm saying? Like, so that's just my whole thing. And I really wish we would rebrand the whole gender roles thing. It needs rebranding. It should be something like shit you good at and shit I'm good at, and we work together doing it. That's really how it should be.
It's about being complimentary and not
Right. That's why I don't like the whole gender roles conversation. I don't like that whole gender roles conversation. I think it's dumb.
I love the fact
do
that it needs to be rebranded, because
It needs to be rebranded.
The conversation about gender roles is very limited to people that are not married,
And it's too perverted. People have perverted that and made it really, really a negative to have a certain set of things that a man is supposed to do and a certain set of things that a woman is supposed to do. That's why when we bring up gender roles, the conversation goes left real quick, because everybody is trying to do everybody's thing instead of trying to figure out how to work cohesively together. You understand what I'm saying? So we just need to rebrand it and say, all right, we're not talking gender roles. Yes, I'm a man, you a girl, but there might be some manly things that you can do, and there might be some maybe secretarial things that I do better than you. Like, I might be able to clean better than you, but you better at trimming the hedges. You understand what I'm saying? Like, find a way to make it work.
The role is about duty. It ain't about
man.
nothing else. The role is about duty. It ain't about you do this just because you're a woman. Yeah, absolutely. There's some things that you're gonna do that's simply tied to your nature, your biological assignment, and the duty that you're supposed to perform within a relationship. It's not a relationship if you don't show up and do the complementary things that I can do but don't want to do.
Right.
And vice
But
versa.
there's also this side of it too, though. There's also this side of it too. And here's where this conversation goes left too, because a lot of us, and this is an attack. This is not an attack on women. This is just a behavior that I see. A lot of women want to play our position and theirs at the same time and still get what they want out of us. You understand what I'm saying? That's
dumb.
what this. Yeah, that's
really dumb.
Gina spoke on that.
That's really dumb.
Gina spoke on that. Gina spoke on that, and she's 100% right when she spoke on that.
Yep. Because how you can't.
I think he's muted. Chris is muted. Chris is muted.
Yeah, Chris, you're muted.
Yeah, he muted. You can't have all of the demands with none of the responsibility and think it's gonna work. The only place that works is probably Congress or public schools. Okay, like the main, like, you can't have the least amount of resources and think that you can make the rules. This is why the gender role conversation needs to be definitely rebranded, because we're talking about needs and wants, and people are trying to satisfy their relationship requirements off of very, very shallow criteria. That's really only amounts to you just being a responsible adult. I'm more responsible than you. I can do the laundry. I can cut the grass. Very, very general stuff. But when it comes down to you had a bad day and that masculine woman that you got starts acting handsome and can't reassure you or nothing, then what? Huh? You gonna go talk? You got the homie now. You know what I'm saying? Hey, notice
like,
I said
gap you up like UBI, bro. Like,
yeah, you go UBI, homie. You know what I'm saying?
Now let's go have a shot real quick.
Yeah, exactly. But then you got the feminine man that said, I don't like the way you make me feel. You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't want to shut up this type of situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all want men that can put on a skirt and some cowboy boots and then grill while making goddamn marcons and French desserts. You don't
Singing
get that.
Frozen.
Yeah. Like, no, I ain't like that.
Shut
fuck
up.
everything. Look, fuck everything Cavi talking about. The masculine women in Africa, they They may be matriarchal, but they masculine. They don't look like nobody that we want, and there ain't no shot at them or whatever. But I want my woman to be soft. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
Right.
And so, like, I get that the
Yeah,
society
but that's something they struggle with. Man. Come on, Vic.
yeah,
Let's
like,
be real.
and that goes back
That's
to what I
something.
said.
That's something they struggle with.
And that's what I said before. There's a patriarchal and a matriarchal version of black people in general, and it's probably true in other places, but like most
It's more
prominent and
with us.
prevalent is with us because we're dealing with baby mamas.
Yes.
We're dealing with a bunch of women that say, I don't need a man. Those women right there, I'm not interested in.
I do.
And they sleeping with the same kind of dude because
Yeah, and they sleeping with
almost
the
half
same
of us don't have
20%
no
of
kids.
men. Yeah, like
Yeah,
for real.
They know what they're doing, man. I can't
let's be
patronize
real,
the most
okay?
educated group on the planet, and
the most
I
evicted.
can't
but
patronize them
let's-
like that, man.
They the
Because
most
they know what they're
educated
doing,
and the
man.
most evicted.
You can't claim you the most educated and be this dumb with what really matters, man. We're not this stupid.
But
We're not.
listen,
We're not this dumb.
listen, in their defense,
Come on, Antoine.
let's be
Come on,
real.
Antoine.
Let's be real, okay? And in their defense, femininity and being soft, that's something black women struggle with because they take it as a sign of weakness, right? That's just something they struggle with. And in order to be submissive to a man, you have to be feminine. For them, it's like, well, if the man's masculine, I'll turn on my femininity and bullshit. No, you just masculine. It's not something you turn it on and off. You don't pee standing up. You're feminine. You should be a feminine woman naturally. Maybe you weren't raised as a feminine woman. I get that. But that's something most black women struggle with. It's always the elephant in the room. Like, I can't do that. Yeah, because you're not feminine. Oh, I can't submit to that. Yeah, because you're not feminine. Because real feminine women know there's real strength in femininity. You can get your man to do anything once you know how to carry yourself and once you know how to be feminine. A man will move a mountain, climb a mountain if you're feminine to rescue you. That's always been through the dawn of time. That's always been a fact. And that's something they struggle with. That's just, they look at it as a sign of weakness. That's it.
Hey,
Alonda asks, what is y'all's definition of femininity?
perfect, baby. Can you answer what Alonda's question is? She says, what's the definition of femininity? It doesn't matter what we think it is. Let's listen to a wife tell us what femininity is.
Femininity, in my opinion, is
As
knowing
a wife.
As a wife, femininity is knowing when to take a step back, knowing when to listen, knowing when to process what he's saying. Unfortunately, most women, they take what their mate is saying. I don't want to. They take
Y'all
what
so
their
cute. I promise. Y'all so cute.
She said they take what their mate is saying. I don't want to.
I don't want
Right. I don't want to.
Yeah,
Y'all
I
so
do.
cute.
But what did I do? What did I do?
You did it anyway.
I
I
sat
got
down. But most, I feel like they have a hard time taking in what the male is actually saying and not basing it off of their feelings. Look, I can only speak from example. When me and Vic first got together, I used a lot of my feelings in the things that he was saying. And it wasn't that he was wrong. It wasn't that he was wrong in my behavior and describing it. It was, I didn't want to hear it. Stop telling me about myself. I don't want to hear that. I just need you to agree with what I'm saying because here I think I'm right. Even though deep down I'm like, damn, that's me. Okay. What it is, I think society and people as a whole, they don't like being seen. But when you are in a committed relationship and when you are with somebody who is down for you, you have to accept the fact that you are going to be seen and your mate is going to see your flaws. Hey, I have called him out so much on his bullshit.
All the time.
Oh my God. To the point, I'm not a I told you so type person, but I'll just look at him and be like,
That's all you got to say. Mm-hmm.
So, and I think for women, like for us, we have a hard time accepting that.
Why do you think? Why do you think you guys? Why do you think you guys have a hard time accepting that exactly? Where does that come from? What does it
I
stem
feel
from?
like we have a hard time accepting that because we have unfortunately put ourselves in positions to be baby mamas, and we have put ourselves and we have put everything else above being in an equal relationship. And that's the thing, we're not necessarily equal. We're not. And I think that's what a lot of women confuse. Women are not equal to men. We just ain't. We ain't. And it doesn't matter that you have a degree. It doesn't matter that you did all of this stuff. It does not matter. This goes back to the whole gender role thing. Like, there's just certain things that a man is responsible for and a woman should be responsible for. I'm sorry, it just is, because most relationships that run off of that quote unquote gender role, in my opinion, those are the ones that I look at and I'm just like, oh, okay. I mean, look at Ozzie Davis and his wife. Granted, rest in peace to the both of them. But like, I'm pretty sure she wasn't talking crap to Mr. Davis and telling him what she wasn't going to do because she didn't agree with what he was saying. Granted, we don't know what happened behind closed doors, but I feel like some women, they are disrespectful in public for no reason. For no reason.
I think you got to get that soundboard, man. Oh, there you go.
He did it.
Why you shaking your head? No.
No, I didn't. I wasn't shaking my head. No, anything that you said. I'm 100% what you're saying. I mean, what I'm gathering here is we're talking about softness. We're talking about women being soft. Pretty much at some point in a relationship. I'm 100% behind that. I'm definitely 100% behind that because let's just be honest. We are at war with the world.
I see what you did
there.
You nasty so and so.
I am.
Okay.
Validated.
I'm sorry, man. I just be paying attention. I'm sorry, man. I pay too much attention sometimes.
Yeah, validated.
All right, Randall, you said she needs to touch on that. They don't want to be seen. You kind of drop it when you said they don't want to be seen. Like, kind of break that down. You know what I'm saying? Make it clear.
We don't want people pointing out our flaws because we unfortunately feel like we're right because we're women. And that's really just it. Let's call a spade and a duck a duck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like there is no there is no gray area there. Like, and unfortunately, we as women, we are quick to shade some shit. Hence why we are shady individuals.
Shit.
Some shit is just black and white. It just is. And if you behave a certain way, you really cannot be mad at the outcome or however it comes out. The accountability needs to be had full circle.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm quick to tell people, hey, I wasn't shit. I wasn't. I was out there. I was for the streets at one point. But after a while, I got tired. I just got tired. I got tired of always having to argue my point. I got tired of always having to have the last word, even though deep down I knew that the shit that I was regurgitating was just that bullshit. And most women don't want to accept that.
Okay. I got you. Randall coming with it, ain't he, Chris?
He beat me to it. He beat me to it, man. He beat me to it.
Come on, Chris. Come on, talk about that.
Because, man, a lot of the stuff Regina talking about is our fault.
Yeah.
A lot of the shit that she talking about is our fault, directly or indirectly. And I'm saying that because we were taught that we were supposed to take that shit under the guise of being a real man.
Y'all
You understand what I'm saying? I'm just saying that's culturally, that's how we were taught. Like, coming up, we're just now getting this new information that it's okay for us to have boundaries. A lot of these dudes out here, they don't know. A lot of these dudes out here don't know how to take a L, man. Take the L, man. That's the best. Take the L, man, for real. We've been.
going
I'm telling
back.
you, man, and I can see the surprise, shocked look on Antoine's face right now because he don't understand a word I'm saying because he ain't never seen this. But I'm telling you, I've seen this. This is real life, and plus, like I said, I'm a former employee of the family court business. I've seen how this shit go down. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of these dudes out here let these women do whatever they supposed to do because they afraid to take the loss. One and two is how we were taught coming up. You understand what I'm saying? And I think the major problem with a lot of these women is they got a lot of friends around them that don't want. They got a lot of people around them that don't love them enough to tell them to shut the fuck up.
Man, I've been saying all my life, all my adult life, that a lot of people have not heard enough shut the fuck ups.
Or just no.
Or just no. Like
Gina, let me ask you something, Gina. Let me ask you something, Gina. And I really want an answer to this because I always ask, why don't women hold other women accountable? Like, I know there's a sister code, I know all that other shit, but what do you think the reason is?
We're not this dumb.
You're married, you did it right. What's the reason?
I feel like the reason why women don't hold each
like,
other
you know,
accountable
what she did is wrong. Right, like you see the samples.
She about to answer.
I feel like most women, in my opinion, they don't hold each other accountable. Is one, we don't want to get into a fight because women are reckless. They are disagreeable. And again, we've always been told that we were right. And so to go against that, like, for example, with my mom, like, we were just raised, we're just like, no, you don't talk back to your mom, or you don't do this because that's your mom. Oh man, get the hell out of here. I'm like, absolutely not. Mom, you're wrong. Sorry, not sorry. And a lot of women, unfortunately, they're not willing to take that stance with other women. Why they're not able to do that, I don't know. Like Vic always say, I'm quick to say, go to therapy because you got some underlining stuff that you need to deal with. And for me, if I'm not going to let a perfect stranger talk to me a certain kind of way or do certain things, why would I allow someone that I speak to on a daily basis or I call myself being friends with do it?
Let me jump right there. See this comment right here? This is exactly what I'm talking about.
What?
It says people don't receive enough honest feedback.
Yeah.
That's one part of it. But when women talk about this topic, they always say people. They never say other women don't accept honest feedback.
And honestly, when most women...
That's exactly what I saw in that.
Because women have no code. This is what I'm talking about.
When women give that type of feedback, the first thing that we get, I get it a lot. I'll bitch you fat. Or whatever. You a pick me. Or you this or you that. No, you just, ma'am, no.
Exactly.
I'm not. You know what? I haven't been in a healthy situation or had a healthy conversation with someone to where you can't even take constructive criticism.
Come on now. This is why I say women have no code, because when you bring up women and you ask women questions, they say people. No, say women. The words you use define the conversation.
Words matter.
Words matter. Don't pick and choose when you say, I don't like what you said, and then you get offended at one word, and then I ask you a question, and then you say, instead of saying women are the problem, you say people are the problem. Start saying women.
To explain why without getting an attitude, without being combative, without feeling like, oh, I got to defend myself. No, just shut up and listen. Because we don't know everything. Nobody does. But I mean, everybody has lived a different life and they have different experiences. And you never know what kind of nuggets you might get from hearing a different perspective from somebody else.
If you want to improve, but unless you just want to argue from an undisciplined mindset and then just be in conflict, because some people are just very comfortable in the chaos of just disagreement. Disagreement is oxygen for a lot of people. Understand that part. And it's a lot of oxygen thieves out there. Okay. So when first things first, until women are able to check women They don't ever understand what men are truly dealing with when it comes to women. So if you want relationships to improve, stop validating the bullshit that y'all co-sign with each other.
Tell your girlfriend to stop going out and sucking random dick when y'all out having a girls' night. Tell that bitch that she's wrong. Okay? Tell her to stop leaving with that dude that kept buying rounds and rounds of drink just because. Like, you know better, so do better. Like, for me, I don't have a lot of female friends because I would call them out on that. Granted, I used to be that person, but that's why I never judged those women. But I definitely didn't have no problem. Hey, man, don't do that. That's not cool, because you know damn well you're going to get your head knocked between the washer and the dryer.
Come on now. Come on.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Hey, look at it like this.
He been working on that shit for a while now, Chris.
He just needed the right time to do it. That's all he was waiting for. Ooh,
Hey.
this about to be it.
Hey,
Let him have it. Let him have it.
hey, look, this is the thing. See, what she's talking about is the same things that men would hold each other accountable for. You can't call me with your sob story about the terrible decision you made with your dick. You know what I'm saying? We were like, hey, bro, you fucked that up.
You
We
know
tell each
better.
other, all of this sound like you made the mistake. And we
you know
eat that.
better.
And you know better.
So you should do better.
But women don't do that. They go get ice cream, drink wine, and watch Sex in the City and say all men ain't shit. And that's bullshit.
And they watch basketball.
And then be complaining about the WNBA ain't successful because now y'all watching baddies. Y'all watching season 15 of Real Housewives of Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? You condoning you condoning women making babies with the worst men before they even have a sandwich with them. They ain't even been out on a date. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why you got Meg Thee Stallion twerking at the
do
PNC,
not get me
and
started.
then Amber Rose talking at the RNC.
That musclehead hoe.
Jesus Sage.
Like, just tell me when I'm wrong. This is the other part too to all of this, right? We keep bringing up society. Society's faceless. There's like people make up society. The shit that we adopt makes up society. Saying people are the problem instead of just saying no, women do this shit and men do this shit. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem. We got to start defining the people that actually conduct the behavior. The only thing that separates human beings is behavior. This is where like-mindedness comes from. This is where, like, you're defined for a relationship based on your behavior. Are you not? Because if you don't act like a wife, if you don't act like a husband, why would you expect to be a wife or a husband, right? So let's stop fucking bullshitting. The same shit that we tell these kids that they should be doing, adults need to be performing the same fucking behavior. Practice what you preach. That's all it is. You know what I'm saying? And just coming in a different form at an advanced level. Stop fucking bullshitting. Women, stop fucking bullshitting and tell your bullshit friends that now you keep going to go fuck the same men. I can't fuck with you. Cut these women off. You know what I'm saying? Because they need you to dump on in order to validate their bullshit. Just like what Randall said earlier. He said, let me scroll back up to that comment. What he said, like, women be right.
He just said all wet ass pussy ain't good wet ass pussy.
He said women's perfection is validated when the man is silent. Yep. Their perfection is validated when the man don't hold them accountable. Yeah, because if the only woman and the only man in a relationship are they think everything's working, and this dude over here being verbally abused and she getting everything she wants, yeah, of course she gonna feel like her husband is happy if she getting what she wants. When
broken down with this simple statement right here: happy wife. Finish it for me, fellas.
Happy life, but really, it should be happy spouse, happy house.
There you go.
I agree.
I really want to know who made up that happy wife, happy life saying.
I always wanted to know that too, Chris.
But not for the same reason you do, though. I want to know because I really want to punch him in the face.
Society made it up, Chris.
I really want to punch him in his face.
Everything that got made up that was fairy tale was society. Society is a fairy tale. What's reality is your fucking behavior when you get up every day. It's how you act when you leave the house.
But can we at least agree that on the man's side, men's gotta stop procreating with women like this. They have
Hey,
a
I got a rule for
responsibility
it.
too as leaders.
I got a rule for it. What's the
move
rule
past
for what
this.
you just?
Okay.
What's the rule? What's the
Rule
rule?
five.
Accountable
Rule
masculinity.
five.
Rule 5.
Yeah.
Rule number 5. Sexual discipline.
That's all I'm saying.
A man got to control
Yep.
his meat so he can control his life.
Because he's validating her. He's validating her when he does that. I'm telling
Yeah.
you that right now. He's
Back.
validating that woman.
Stop going back. If you break up with somebody, stop doing over with these hoes and these in the worst men. Ain't no do-overs. Stop going back to
Get
your
out
ex.
your comfort
Get
zone,
out the zone.
stupid.
Get out. Come on. Stop going. I don't understand why people double back. Every time I done double back, it's been worse. You know what I'm saying? I think at 45 years old, the conversation we need to have that everybody is always wrapped up into, stop communicating with your fucking exes. It didn't work. It's over. That's why you don't make babies with everybody that you let pump on you. Stop. A baby is not a ticket to get back with your ex and make the shit right.
Tell them to shoot it in the mouth or on the back.
Come on. She got to wear it and carry it.
Got that shit right.
That's look. That's
Got
why
that
I
shit
think
right.
if I don't come in her and if I don't come from her, she can't do nothing but work for me or twerk for me. So if you stop coming in her, you ain't got to deal with her no more. That's the only leverage that women have over any man is having a child with them.
Yep. That's why they quick to put y'all on child support.
And y'all keep playing, you keep tricking yourselves out the streets because you can't get away from the sheets. The only leverage, men,
imagine being trapped like that.
Men, the only leverage a woman has on you is a baby. Stop making babies with them and then complaining about them. Because if you tell a woman her body, her choice, what you're saying is your wallet, your voice. Because the minute that she go take you to child support and she bring in Uncle Sam, and then your life changes because you getting garnished like a fine dining plate at a French restaurant, you can't complain because all you did was you put your dick in her. It's your fault. It's your fault who you chose. You chose poorly because you was in the lead.
We in 2024. It's too much contraceptive out here. There's too many resources for y'all to still be getting pregnant by niggas and females that read with their finger on the paper.
Come on, motherfuckers speak crayon, and you out here making babies.
Speak crayon.
Speak crayon, bro.
You crazy as fuck. You know what I'm saying? You crazy as fuck. You and then you talking about your baby mama.
I agree. That's where I'm glad Gina's here because you know me, I got 2 parents and all that sort of shit. I'm trying to find out what the mentality of a black woman is to say I'm gonna have a baby. I just want to know, like, where is the disconnect? You're a grown woman, you know if he nuts in you, it's a done deal. I just want to know, like, what is it? Is it because don't tell me it's the passion at the moment.
Nope.
What
it's not about any of that.
Real talk, they just
it's not about any of that.
Look,
they're just stupid. Like
it's not that.
We all know what happens when we have sex. There is a probability that you can get pregnant. It don't matter if there's a condom or there isn't. You know better and you chose not to do better. That's it. That's all. When you have sex with somebody and you notice that your coochie stink for no damn reason and you ain't pregnant, girl, you need to stop sleeping with him, okay? Because he's throwing your pH off. I don't care how big his dick
deeper
is.
than that.
I don't care how good his stroke is.
It's deeper than that.
You need to go on and sit down somewhere.
It's way deeper than that. And I'm speaking.
Really, guys need to write a book, man, because whatever.
It's way deeper than that, man. It's way deeper than that. And I really want to explain this.
But it
is deeper than that.
Hold up, Chris. Let me say it from the female perspective.
Chris, listen, I've always agreed with you. Just let me say that. I talk about you all the time. Okay.
You silly.
I've always agreed with you. And
I'm
it is deeper than that. But unfortunately, we got so many people trying to be sexy reds and beg the stallions and get all this stuff done and all that crap. Man, if you don't get the fuck out of here and sit down somewhere, you know better. We all know better. It's just folks are not choosing to do better. It's a choice.
You're right. It is a choice. But the thing is, though, And I saw
And
this
there's some dumb
working as an
people out
employee
there,
of the
boy.
system. I saw this. It's not about all that extra stuff. I think it might be just about control. It might be because I let this dude that I really thought loved me do this thing to me, and now I have something that I can use to control him. That's really what I've seen working in the system. Like, that's really what it is now. And it sucks for me to say this because we, like I said, man, we always talk about how educated we are, but we real stupid with what matters. A lot of these kids, with me working in the system, they were used as control mechanisms and bartering chips just to get the man to fall in line and for her to have a say so in what that man does with his future. You understand what I'm saying? I've seen a lot of that, and it crosses races and it crosses cultures. It ain't just us. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it ain't.
I agree. Look,
It ain't just
my
us.
mom. Look, my oldest brother. I have 3 older brothers. I'm the baby. Out of 3 older brothers, my oldest brother and my third brother have the same dad. My second brother has a different dad. I have a different dad. My mom was dumb. Okay. I love that woman with everything in me, but she was dumb. Because how do you backtrack and get pregnant by the same deadbeat that wasn't taking care of the first child in the first place?
It's a choice.
It's a choice.
Yeah, I agree with you. But like I said, and everything that you explained, yes, that is a choice. And everything that I explained when I was talking about like the systematic part of it, that's also a choice too, because she ain't got to go through all of that.
She
You know what I'm
did it.
saying? She ain't had to go through all of that, but she did because she knew that it was available.
And-
You
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying?
and
So
that
there's that side of it where it feels like they can do that and have a shield or a safety net, and
Chris, what
it
you
works in their favor like that. You understand what I'm saying?
Chris, what you explaining right there is the matriarchal side of our society right there. Where the woman is in the lead, it ain't no big deal. You got pregnant, just go get child support.
Just go get child support.
Somebody got to coach them into that. You see what I'm saying? That's learned behavior, and that's being trained.
And that's the only way that they can get benefits too. I've
That's the
learned
only way
that too.
to get benefits.
They don't have to pursue it. It just has to be a case on file for him to go to docket if she wants it.
All.
That's it. It's
Look,
a piece of paper.
I have 2 sons. One is 27 and one is 22. And I flat out told them, if you get that girl pregnant and you're not married to her, I need you to go down there and put yourself on child support, because 9 times out of 10, you can expect them papers in the mail.
And there's nothing that you can do about it.
And there's nothing that you
Nothing
can
that
do
you can do about it.
Did you have
And this
no?
is and this is why I'm glad we're talking about the sexual discipline side of it, because we are in an over sexualized society. So it is even more important for us to be careful.
Yes.
Because the opposite gender, they are, well, I'm gender sex. I don't even know what to call this shit. Do you understand why I'm always mad? I can't even talk right because I don't know what to call these things. But our reflection, I'll say that our reflection is being taught that they can do whatever they want without any consequences.
Yep. No
We're not
accountability.
allowed to say nothing. We're not allowed to say nothing at all. If we say something, there's something wrong with us. You understand what I'm saying?
Look, sexually undisciplined women
Yeah.
are not the same as sexually disciplined women.
And
This
the
is
ones that are
all-
disciplined need to start telling the ones that are not, that are literally representing them in mainstream media and in social media, to shut the fuck up.
Hey,
what I said?
Well, that's part of it too. But here's my new plateau on that.
And I'm not on nobody's side. We got some bitch ass niggas that we need to talk about too.
Oh, that's what I was about to say. The sexual discipline piece divides the healthy women from the unhealthy women, the unhealthy men from the unhealthy men. Because clearly, me and my wife on the same sheet of music. You see what I'm saying? When it comes down to the philosophy of where you should give the best of you and who you should give it to. You know what I'm saying? Because like at 45 years old, we all have had enough experiences with women to know what's healthy for us and what's unhealthy for us. But like the men and women that go out here and procreate with the worst versions of the opposite gender, you don't get a fucking pass. I get that he might have love bombed you.
Yep.
I get that she might have tricked you and made you feel like, you know what I'm saying, you had a chance at being a dad without having a ring. But the reality is that you vetted poorly.
Yep.
That's
and
just
you're not this stupid.
And you're not this stupid, but
then again, you are because you knocked her up.
Because if you're led by emotions, you're already dumb. First time,
You
that's
know
on
better.
Me. The first time, that's on me. The second time, that's also on me. The third time, I'm mentally ill. That's just it.
Prime example. My oldest son. I have a 5-year-old grandson. He has been with this girl since he was 16, 17 years old, off and on. He dogged her out. I mean, dogged her out. And I would tell him time and time again, son, eventually she's going to get tired of your shit. It just is what it is.
Women always get
what
tired.
did she do? She took that baby and moved all the way to Hawaii. And now my son is stuck in Colorado, missing his son because of the choices he made. And now she calls me struggling as a single mother based off of the choices that she made. She put up with my son's bullshit. She put up with my son's abuse when I told them both, y'all don't need to be together because the both of you niggas is toxic and the both of you need to go to therapy. But did anybody listen? Nope. Now that they're both in their late 20s, they're finally figuring it out.
Your body, your choice. Your wallet, your voice.
Yep.
Men, the only leverage that any woman can have over you is a baby.
Yep.
Don't put no babies in them if they don't fucking respect you.
And she
And
holds
you know better. You
You
not
know
this stupid.
I'm
You
reading two
You
comments
know
over
better.
here. It
What-
says,
yeah.
Alonda said, a baby is also a way for a woman to maintain a connection.
It's leverage, not
It's
connection.
leverage.
Okay. Right,
It's
right.
leverage.
And then
It's
Amberly
emotional and
Chantel
physical
Smith.
leverage.
Right. Amberly Chantel Smith, she said they are doing it to keep him and her around. So they're basically saying the same thing.
The same
Leverage.
thing.
They're saying the same thing. Yeah.
Trust and believe. My son's mother, she still loves my son, okay? And he still loves her. But they are still caught up on what they did to one another, and they use my grandbaby as a bargaining tool.
I told you. See,
Chris said that. Yeah,
I'm
Chris
just
said that.
like, y'all are wrong. The both of y'all are wrong. That's it. That's all.
Yeah,
The both
man.
of y'all are wrong. And until both of y'all acknowledge how wrong y'all are, you guys will keep fighting and you guys will keep putting this boy in the middle of your bullshit. You guys created the scenario, not him. He's
And
in
it ain't about you.
It ain't
It's
about you.
It ain't about you.
Look,
What the
when I got pregnant,
See,
at
this is what I be wanting to say. I'm sorry, but this is what I was really want to be saying when I was in these hearings and I was hearing all this nonsense. Like, are you serious?
Yep. Look,
Like, it ain't about you.
when I got pregnant with my son, and that doctor actually told me, yes, ma'am, you're pregnant and your baby is due in September. I knew immediately, damn, this ain't about me no more. I gotta do what I gotta do for my baby. Don't get me wrong. I tried to keep his dad involved. I never put his dad on child support. The only reason why his dad went on child support is because he sued me for custody of the child. That's it. I never put him on child support because at the end of the day, I knew that I laid down with him without protection and I knew the consequences. So I never made him responsible for taking care of the child because ultimately I baked that baby. I baked that baby.
I love how you said
Gina, I want to ask you a question real quick. So you were talking about he sued you for custody of the child, correct? So I'm assuming that you got custody of your son. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. And how long was that? At what age did you gain custody of your child?
So my son stayed with me from birth, but when we went to court, by then, I think at that time my son was like 6 or 7 years old.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I guess the question I have for that is, what made his father not capable of raising his son? I understand that you guys bake him. I get that, but let's just be honest. You know, when it comes to raising a son, it would probably be in the boy's best interest if the father is not an abusive father or some type of fucked up individual. It
Yeah,
would be it would be in the best interest of the young boy to be raised by his father. Wouldn't you agree?
I agree. But this is the thing. I just happened to fall into that particular role. He was an abusive father. And the only reason why he sued for custody, and he flat out said it in front of the judge, I ain't giving that bitch no child support. And the judge was like, wait a minute. What do you mean, sir? He was like, if something happened to her, if she was to die or something, he was like, wouldn't I get full custody anyway? And the judge right there ended the case. He was like, Mr. Strickland, I'm going to go ahead and award her full custody. He said, because if anything happens to her, sir, you're the first suspect. Because I kept receipts. Every doctor's appointment, he got certified copies of the doctor's appointment. When that child went to school, he got the certified copies. It was all on him. He literally took me to court because he did not want to pay child support for the child. I never put him on child support. The judge ordered that he pay child support.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And you said he was an abusive father.
He was.
Okay.
He was.
All right. Well, I get that. I get that circumstance then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, but even if I fast forward to my first husband, he was there, and I left him when the children were still in school. But he knew that I wasn't going to put him on because I don't believe in it. I feel like the system is rigged against men. It just is. It's rigged against men.
Chris, I'd like to hear your feedback after she finishes on how that system is rigged against men, because
it's definitely rigged against men because women are so dumb. They think like, ooh, I'm gonna get a check, blah 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 blah. But you guys don't take into consideration the underlining things when you go and you put these men on child support. You basically are signing them up to be committed into the system. That's really it. Especially if the men want to be there. Like I knew my first husband, he wanted to be in his children's life. So there's no way in hell I would have put him on child support. Even if he decided later on, hey, I don't want to do this no more. Okay, that's fine. Guess what? You don't have to contact me at all going forward. But if you want to see your children, I'll never deny you that. I've never denied my children access to their fathers. It's always been the other party that has taken themselves out of the picture. And most women can't get beyond the fact that they were mistreated by the fathers to be able to sit back and be like, ooh, this ain't got nothing to do with me. The relationship with the father and the child has nothing to do with the relationship that happened between me and him. We couldn't get along, but I refuse to allow my child not to grow up with their father.
Okay. Chris, would you say that the court systems, when it comes, we're going to talk about little boys at this point, would you say that the court systems are rigged against the fathers, even if it's a little boy? There's no consideration by the judge that says, hey, this is a little boy, this is a man, he would probably be best raised under this man. Would you say that?
That's a very good question, Cavi. I like that shit.
And I'm going to answer it. No, it's not rigged against the man. It's rigged against the breadwinner. The problem is a good majority of the time, the breadwinner is the man. So it looks like it's the man that has to deal with this. That's really what it is. But what people don't understand is there's a whole trickle down system. I think they said that the government gives each state a 66% of whatever the dollar amount of the child support cases that they have. They give that back to the state in a grant.
Yep.
Not to mention the magistrates get paid, the attorneys get paid, the clerks get paid, the mediators get paid. That's how I got paid, because I was a file clerk. I ran the files. Yep. You understand what I'm saying? It's a whole thing. It has nothing to but like I said, because for a long time men have made the money, it looks like it's always the men, because the men always made the money. Now I'm starting to see a change in this where they're starting to go after the women. and saying, oh, since you took on this role, okay, this is what you have to do for this man. Just like that girl who tried to divorce a soccer player or something like that,
I
but
got a
everything was
story.
in his mama name and she didn't get nothing. She actually wound up paying him alimony and paying him spousal support because everything was in his mama name. You understand
Chris,
what I'm saying?
I saw that. I saw
They're
that.
starting, things are starting to reverse.
Yeah,
Things are
look,
starting to reverse.
I got
And I think once things start, once things start reversing on a bigger enough scale, I think that's when the laws are going to change. Because according to the narrative, our reflection is supposedly out earning us. So if they're supposedly out earning us, then that means that a lot of these cases that they think they're gonna get a check from, they're gonna have to wind up paying it because they make too much. You understand what I'm saying?
And at that time, I wasn't making anything. My son's father was working at the post office in 1997. So think about it, 2024 versus 1997, when you're working at the post office at 18, 19 years old. Yeah, you were making way more than me because I was a college student at the time.
Look,
Yep.
we just had a story the other day from a friend of mine that was explaining how this one woman that was she was in a professional practice in the medical field, right? I don't know exactly what her task was, right? But she was with this guy that she ended up having to pay money to, alimony, child support, or something to that effect. She had to cut him a check at the time of divorce, even though he made a kid outside the marriage, because the kid outside the marriage was the reason for the divorce.
Insane.
Because she out earned him.
Insane.
So that feeds the point.
That's crazy.
What Chris just said is about
agree. Insane.
It's insane.
Yeah,
Like,
it's not about a man versus a woman thing. It's about how much can I take from the person that make the most and give to the person that need the most, and then get everybody spending money so that way we all get paid because everybody's spending money. You understand what I'm saying?
So imagine getting cheated on, somebody make a baby outside the relationship, and then you decide, hey, we got irreconcilable differences, so we get a divorce, and then the judge tell you got to cut the check, even though that person made a baby on you outside the relationship.
Hey,
Yeah, man. Just because you got that divorce don't mean that you might not be coming out of pocket. You understand what I'm saying? And this is why a lot of these women out, and this is why a lot of women that earned this amount of money, they shooting themselves in the foot because they're never going. They're all the good majority of the pool is looking for the same kind of man. So if you meet a man that's under your earning potential and something happened, you gonna wind up coming off fast sets because you the breadwinner. You understand what I'm saying? It's a money grab.
So Chris, I'm gonna ask you this question. I know you've been seeing these reels and shorts out here with women who make those six figures that say that they will not date a man making less than six figures. So would you say that they're validated by thinking that way because of what you just said?
No.
Okay.
And the main reason why I'm saying that is, well, I wouldn't say validated, but I would say I don't give out what you want is what you want. That's on you. That's what you want. But are you really in the position to A, ask that of somebody, and B, are you what that person would want out of a relationship? Are you being what that person wants you to be? If you're not doing that, shut up, because you're not going to get what you want. You might get a taste of it, and whatever date he take you on or whatever trip he fly you out to, he'll write off at the end of the year as a tax deduction and then send you on your way. You understand what I'm saying? But yes, you earn a lot of money, but even women who earn that kind of money want men that earn that kind of money along with 90% of the rest of the dating pool. You understand what I'm saying? So why would, and that's another thing that a lot of the women that I see and the women that represent women are doing, that a lot of the women don't agree with. They lead with their accolades like they're a man. I really do think that a lot of these women out here want a bigger dick than the dude that they talking to, because they lead with what they do instead of who they are. We're supposed to lead with what we do. You understand what I'm saying? The fact that I even have status, or the fact that I even look like I have status, is the reason you looking my way in the first place. So I did my job. What's your job? You understand what I'm saying? I did what I was supposed to do because you standing here talking to me. Now what's next? You understand what I'm saying?
Come on, babe.
Hey, men don't care about your fucking degrees, lady. That ain't nothing but a piece of fucking paper that came from a tree. Shut up. Keep your legs closed and mind your business. That's it.
Men don't even hang around men that brag about their resume all
Who
the time.
cares?
So
Look, paternity court only exists because of women.
Ooh, you know what? That's
Paternity court only exists because of women.
wow.
Because y'all don't have the wherewithal, y'all don't have the scruples to be able to hold a decent conversation.
But that's our fault.
No, it's not.
Yes,
It's
it is,
the
man.
women's
That's
fault.
our fault, man. That's our fault.
Hey, Chris, absolve us from your perspective.
You want to know why it ain't the men's fault? It's not the men's fault because the women know damn well men can't get pregnant. Bitch, you the one that can get pregnant. So what?
But it's not their fault. But it's not their fault, man. It's not their fault. It's not their fault, man. I'm telling you, it's not their fault, man.
Come on, Chris.
It's not their fault because we know better. I'm sorry. Wait, stop. We know better, man. Some dude out there who was afraid to take a L made it cool. And then she tried that on another dude who made it cool, and another dude who made it cool, and another dude who made it cool. So she has that thought process in her head. Like, I don't care how I talk to you. If you leave me, somebody else will do it. And we made that okay by doing it. This is our fault, man. And we not this dumb. I'm sorry, man. Everything from this point forward, I believe, is us reacting to what's happening. But listen, man. A lot of these dudes out here, man, they just telling a lot of these dudes out here. I'm gonna say the dudes that represent us and that get spotlight and all of that. The dudes that represent us and the dudes that like in the mainstream media and that's doing all of this horse shit, man. Listen, they're not representing us the way that they supposed to be representing us.
Horse.
They're not, man.
Oh, wait, what level of man are you talking about,
man?
What level?
I'm saying all these superstars and social media stars and entertainers and all of that, man. That's not what it is, man.
Wait.
And there aren't enough enough of us to telling them to shut up. I'm sorry. I mean, we're starting to speak out now because it's been since the BET Awards, and now since Kamala had Megan twerk on stage, everybody pissed off. You understand what I'm saying? So we're talking about it now, but there really it just now became cool for us to start telling the people that represent us to shut up. It's just that you're seeing more men do it than women do it. You're seeing more men say, "Hey, man, shut the fuck up. You don't represent us." You see a lot of women champion a lot of the dumb shit because they standing too close to the hose. But us, man, nigga, sit your ass down, man. Shut up.
Hey, look, Chris, before Antoine speaks, to capture what you're saying, the men that you're describing is the sexually undisciplined man.
They're whores.
All of those people over there are whores.
And no matter what your OG tell you, man, being a hoe ain't cool.
It ain't.
It's whack.
Being a hoe ain't cool.
It's whack. That's why your panty got that little crusty part in the middle.
That's why you got hard spots in your drawers. You know what I'm saying?
They stink.
Like being a whore ain't never been cool. You know what I'm saying? It's
been man.
Cool, but it ain't been cool. So, like, Antoine, what you got to say?
I'm just saying, like, what level of man are you talking about? Like, are you talking about a man that's well-to-do, or are you talking about a man that needs a roof over his head? Which
I'm
one?
talking about the men because the mainstream media and the social media. I'm not about to do that. I'm talking about the shit that everybody see every day on their computer screen. You understand what I'm saying? Because that seems to be the role models. Why do you? I'm just saying, man. On a general scale, man. Listen, man. If we had better role models, do you think Megan the Stallion would have been on stage with Kamala Harris? Are you fucking kidding me? We're not this stupid, man.
I think
we're not this stupid. We're not this dumb. I'm sorry, man.
I think if women called out women, there wouldn't be the Cardi B's. I think if women called out women, there wouldn't be the Cardi B's.
And that's
what I think if women put women in check, there wouldn't be women. It has nothing to do with us. It has something to do with us on a small scale. But if women called out women, there wouldn't be the Cardi B's.
And that's why I said
you can't tell women nothing.
That's why women can solve this problem.
It's not
y'all can really solve this problem, and it's really simple. What you could do is just basically say, "Hey, you don't represent us. Shut the fuck up and not be a punk about it."
Women are so educated and so independent. Women are so educated and so independent that they can solve this problem if they chose to focus their energy towards the shit that misrepresented. Exactly. I look, Antoine. I am.
It's not our fault.
It's not our fault. That's the part
fault.
where that's the part where like accountable masculinity comes in. The sexually disciplined men and women are on this side of the conversation.
Men ain't going out to the club dressing in booty shorts and got their goddamn man pecs out and got their balls out like, hey, no, it's women.
It's women. They are selling the image of.
Let's be real. Let's just be real. A woman making. Let's just be real. No, let's just be. I will always validate a hot-looking woman. I mean, I'm going to tell her she's hot if she's hot. But anyways, let's just be real about something. If a man makes 100K, it's a lot different than if a woman makes 100K. You can say what you want and what you want. Just don't expect delusional results, I always say, right? So if a woman's making 100K, that's great. You want a man making 100K. I just need to know you just need to know one thing. You got to look to that man like you got to look the part to demand the kind of man you want. That's all. You got to look the part. You can make $200,000, but if you're fat, sloppy, out of shape, you can want it, but ain't no man making that kind of money looking at you, because I can tell you one thing, you don't represent what steps out of this car. So you can say that all day long. Women can say that all day. I just look at them and go, but you don't look the part, so you'll never get that. You will never get that. Ever. Because you don't look the part of what steps out of these men's cars. You don't. So that's the disconnect right there. Women need to know where they fit in what category. I know that men get checked on that. We tell each other, brother, you ain't playing basketball. You're 5'6". Shut the hell up. You can't tell a woman that. You can't tell a woman, you know what? That dress ain't doing you justice. Really, honestly. You're just popping out in the wrong places. You can't say that to a woman, but men, we say it to each other all the time. We say when a man has a bad shirt on, when a man has a horrible shirt on when he's leaving the house, brother, you got to change that shirt. You ain't getting in my car looking like that. But women don't say that to other women. They don't. So you can go out there and be that doctor. And I make 100K. I make 6 figures. At the end of the day, a man ain't going to approach you because you don't look like what he wants, especially if he makes 100K with options. That's just a fact. I don't understand. There's no disconnect in that area.
You are absolutely right. Until women start saying you're too big for that outfit, you got too many kids, you need to correct your behavior, and all this other stuff. Expect outcomes from the women that fit the behavior, because we only take the bonnet off. Stop doing all this goofy. Stop competing with the worst women. Stop competing for the worst men to have your kids with. Y'all have kids. Y'all go to the emergency room and to the operating room and to the delivery room more than you go to the date. More you go on a date. You make
more
kids
you go to the gym.
More than you go to the gym. If you make more kids with the men that you shouldn't make them with, versus making a sandwich for the man that you're supposed to make a home with, you the problem. You the problem. Because if a man was doing the same, hold up, but because if you was a man making the same decisions, you'll say you need to choose better. You chose wrong. You chose this. You chose that. Your fault. Everything will be completely on the fucking man. But at what point? When is everything on the woman, especially if she's independent? Because you can't be independent in an imperfect world with imperfect people and then complain when your situation ain't perfect. You chose this. Grow up.
Exactly.
Grow up. That's it.
But the main thing that I want to get across is that's the delusion, okay? Because these women are out here, they're not looking for the content of the man. They're looking for that figure that makes her look good, the 6 foot tall, 6-pack, this and that. But they don't look in the mirror to see what they qualify for, right? They don't. And if I believe women need to call it out that if you have kids, you fall in this category. You could say what you want, and you ain't gonna be an Amber Rose. You ain't gonna be, Russell. You ain't gonna be with a Russell. It ain't gonna happen. This is where you fit in. Men will always look at you like, will that guy come around? Possible, probable, no. And as a man, they must know we don't care, because what you look like gets us over there for the conversation. But what comes out of your mouth determines if we'll stay. And
Absolutely.
that needs to be understood amongst women.
Absolutely.
It's just the way it is.
Look, my wife said unmute.
Look, women just need to take pride in their appearance. That's it. That's all. Stop overdoing it. Stop thinking that men like y'all looking like Barbie dolls, because y'all don't. Men want real women. From the head, from the rooter to the tooth.
We want cheeks. We want real
That's
cheeks.
really it.
Bring back real cheeks.
It's
Bring
true, though.
back real cheeks.
It's true, though.
Not
It's
these
true.
violin bodies. We want real
And
cheeks.
even if you got an iron board built body, that's fine.
That's still real
But
cheeks.
ma'am, you just need to be feminine with that iron board body.
And-
because trust and believe, there is somebody out there that be like, I don't care.
I'm gonna
Their
clap
booty
it.
flat. I'm about to tear it up.
They gonna clap it.
It
Yeah.
just is what it is.
Look.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, fellas. On the other side of it, fellas, choose the cheeks that choose you.
Man,
Choose
Yep.
the cheeks that choose you.
it don't matter. I mean, granted, now don't get me wrong.
You got preferences.
Look, don't get me wrong. I have no problem admitting that I am vain. I don't think that I am a 10, but listen, what I won't do is settle for somebody that I do not find attractive.
What
I
you-
do not
what you-
care.
Tell them about me.
I don't care. I do not fucking care.
Fucking-
Tell them about the gun line, boss.
Tell them about me. Tell them about me.
What about you, man?
Tell them about the gun line, boss.
Nigga,
You
and
heard
that's
that?
what I like.
Hold up now. You seen that?
You think?
You
I
seen-
like that.
You
But
petite.
that's the thing.
You petite men is out of there. You know what I'm saying?
Look.
Oh, well,
trust me,
Jesus H.
I don't need. Look, my first husband was 6'1". I don't need that. I've had them tall. I've had them short. That's fine, but that's not what gets me. It just isn't. Like, I want to be treated with respect. I want to be. I want somebody that looks at me the same way that I look at them. And sometimes that person might not be the get up to me, man. The 34. Look, they might not be the 34, 28, 36. That's fine.
Big man, I'm not
You
doing
know
this
what
with you
I'm saying?
tonight.
But he's Chris,
I'm not.
he's so
Victor had too much goddamn wine.
Yeah, man, I'm not doing this with you
No,
tonight,
it's
Vic.
me. It's me.
I refuse.
He over there grabbing
This is
on
my
titties and
first off
shit.
day in over a month. I'm not
I'm
doing this with
I'm
you.
grabbing,
Get out of here.
I'm grabbing cheeks and titties. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm
Look,
here
I feel like
Jesus
look,
H.
again, you get with the person that sees you for you, not the outer appearance, but the inner parts. It's no different. I mean, I'm sure y'all probably ain't watched Bridgerton or whatever, but most people
Yes,
have.
I have.
Okay, Penelope.
Come on, man.
Penelope was a chunky little cute redhead.
I would have clapped for Penelope, man. You know,
Man, Penelope was cute as hell. She meant well, but she didn't look like everybody else from the time. And unfortunately, a lot of people look at superficial stuff instead of acknowledging, hey, does this person treat me right? Does this person respect me? You notice I'm not doing gender roles. I'm saying this person. It goes both ways. Cabby, look, I know that you want to be down at 200 pounds. That's fine. Go the fuck for it. But your wife saw you and was like, yeah, I'm going to hit it.
yeah.
It's the same way
This
with
shit.
him.
Yeah.
Look, I look at him. Boy,
He's
I
okay
got that
right
shit
now.
right.
that belly.
Hey,
Look,
I don't
bring,
give a fuck.
bring it here. Bring
You got
it
that
here.
shit right.
Yeah. Look,
Bring it here. Chris, look, I know you ain't the biggest guy, but nigga, bring it here. Bring that mustache over here and let me wet it up.
Oh, Jesus.
That's what I'm talking about. That's the woman that you want. Yeah.
She said she trying to leave your mustache like a glazed donut, homie.
Hey.
Krispy Kreme.
Hey,
Krispy
man.
Kreme your face.
Hey.
That's what you want. You
Hey.
want nasty. See, you got to get you something nasty, but it got to be personal.
You don't need to have an open nasty, girl. You need an in-house nasty.
You don't need TikTok nasty.
Mm-mm.
There's a big difference. You know what I'm saying? It's STDs on that.
It stink outside.
Yeah.
Think
Like,
outside.
And I already took a shower, man. I already took a shower, bro.
Yeah, you got out the
I
day.
already took a shower, man.
Look,
I'm happy for you.
the women that's displaying themselves come with hard spots in their drawers. That's it. Like, and somebody else's kids. Like,
And somebody else kids. Sheesh.
look,
hard
And
spots
man,
in their
hey
drawers.
man,
And they
listen,
don't
man,
need to vote.
and to keep it
hey,
real,
look,
man.
to you hoes that's listening, you don't need to vote.
Shit.
You already chose the
I
wrong man.
already told him to stop.
Yeah, no, you already chose the wrong man to make
I
your
can't-
baby.
I
You
can't-
can't
I-
choose
I
the
can't.
president.
I
That's
don't
a
feel
fact.
safe right now.
That's a
I
that's the
can't.
part. I don't care. I don't care. You know what I'm saying?
I don't.
Right, okay.
I know.
It's gonna happen when I put this suit on.
I
You know what I'm saying?
I see. You done got extra cocky. You always been cocky, but you
I
got
always
extra
been cocky.
cocky with the
Look,
suit
but see,
on.
that's the thing. See, I've been nice.
This is why I don't come on here, because I don't know what it is, but when I come up and I back a lot of the things, he acts like this.
No.
Come on.
I'm gonna tell you like this, Gina, for real. Like bringing you on here, like Vic did, that right there makes for a way better conversation. We've been saying this for a while, So at the end of the day, it's okay to have all masculine energy talking.
Yeah,
But
man.
if we're trying to fix issues within community, you know what I'm saying, it's always better to have that other side talking too. Hey fellas, y'all kind of off kilter here a little bit. Let's roll it back and let me tell you how women are thinking.
Yeah.
And I've learned a lot just by listening to what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? So I
And
love
that
it.
don't make us punks. It don't
No.
make us simps.
No.
It don't
No.
make us any of that and other nonsense that y'all love to say on social media. It means that we actually want to have a conversation with somebody that's fucking doing it and know what she's
Period.
doing.
Come on now.
Period.
Come on now.
That's why I said earlier.
We know better, Vic. I'm sorry.
know
We
better.
know better.
That's why we got to stop listening to people who got an opinion that ain't validated by marriage.
Mhm.
Everything else is just an expectation.
Or
And
at
I've been
least
saying, and I've been saying this: women live on their expectations, and men live on their experience. So, like, I get it. There's a threshold where, like, you get somebody that's not getting what they want based on the standard that they got in front of them. But one thing men do is when you put somebody in front of them that says, "Oh, he getting exactly what he want," or they got a validated experience, then you got to take that information and you got to say, "Man, you know what?" Just like Cavi did, he said, "Man, I've learned a lot." Right?
you got a point.
You got a point. I got to go back and restructure the way I'm thinking, and this validates exactly what I've been talking about between disciplined men versus undisciplined men. To you undisciplined people, men and women, get on camera. Get out my comments. Come up here and tell me
Shit.
that I'm wrong. I want.
I ain't got no
smoke.
bail money, Vic.
I've been.
I got
I
it, Chris.
I want the smoke because like ain't nothing that y'all got to say gonna invalidate what we believe in. You see what I'm saying?
If
So, like,
anything, you're gonna prove it because you
you
have to
ain't-
bring
if
up an
anything, you gonna do-
exception in order to do it. And the only thing an
don't
exception proves is that a rule exists. So just
Exactly.
you bringing up an exception proves my point because
All
you
you-
got to be right.
Yeah, so you can either be quiet, get down, or lay down. It's one of the. It ain't.
We're
but
not
one
this
of the
stupid.
things. Because it ain't but two mindsets. You either disciplined or undisciplined. Like to disagree with what we're saying proves that you're invested in the problem more than the solution, which is really more reflective of your own behavior.
And here's another side of that. The fact that there will be men out here to call us out our names because we're just simply willing to listen to a woman. You understand what I'm saying? There's that side of it too. We're gonna get called all kinds of simps and lames and all types of stuff because we actually willing to listen to a woman. You understand what I'm saying? There's that side of it too. We know, Vic, man, we not this stupid.
Mhm. Yep.
We're not this
Like-
dumb, man. We're not.
Like when you listen to people that got all their hair, the conversation is different.
Oh boy, shut up.
It is. Like, don't nobody want to talk about that? I'm not listening. I'm not arguing with nobody that can take their hair off.
I don't argue. I don't argue with people whose hair comes with a receipt too. I don't do that
Oh
Yeah,
either.
my
like I
God.
don't.
Jesus.
I don't do that either.
You can,
I don't do
if
that either.
you can take
Look,
it
If
off.
your
look,
hair
fellas.
came with a receipt and a
Okay,
plastic
okay,
bag,
okay.
I can't argue with you. I don't even.
Fellas,
I can't.
I'll say this. I'll say this. And
Nope.
and this
And you
and
can't
this is
make me.
just and look. I'm not going to convince you to. I'm not going to convince either one of you to. But I know a whole lot of intelligent, highly intelligent sisters that take their hair off at night and put it on a mannequin head. So
You
I
know
mean,
how the wig got to be in August?
But honestly,
You can't make no healthy decision with a wig on your
Caddy,
head.
what
in
if she
summer.
what if she got alopecia? What if she got alopecia?
Oh, you talk
But
about the
no.
percent of people out there? Shut stop. You see what I said about bringing up an exception? Like, do you see what I said?
women that you
Do
know
you under-
don't want to come on and defend what's right and what's wrong, they're
I'll be
irrelevant.
back.
Yep.
Right.
If they can't get on camera, ain't shit you talking about in my comments registering
Nope.
at all. Like you don't exist. You just on social media. You're a fucking bot.
See, now trust and believe. Me and Dick don't agree on a lot of stuff, and trust me, I counter a lot of the things that he says and stuff. But I mean, some of it is just like it's kind of hard to refute it.
Because I'm not basing my argument on a hurt place. I'm basing my argument off of experience, not expectation. Because if I was coming into a disagreement with a woman based on some shit that I experienced in the past and I never healed from it, that's a hurt place, right? So like the minute that I see what she's doing, I automatically attribute her behavior to somebody else that I've already had in the past. But if I say, hey, I want this type of outcome because I'm this type of man, and this is what I expect for the woman that wants to be with me, and if she can't adjust, like I'm prepared to adjust to her, then she got to get the fuck up out of here.
Take the L.
Take the L. You got to go.
Take the
Like,
L.
Why do you think that you the exception? Now, understand something. Love is based on exceptions. You break your rules for the person that you love, but you only break one rule. They got to qualify for you to be like, damn, I ain't gonna get this opportunity again, because your rules is based on your own personal experience, right? Until you meet the right person. When you meet the right person, that's the person that challenges you to say, hey man, what I thought was right or wrong, I got to reevaluate that. But a lot of people, they threshold for making that decision is because she gonna give me some pussy, or I can get some dick from this guy. He gonna pay my bill. He gonna, you know what I'm saying? He gonna take me here. He gonna take me there. Their threshold is super low, and they really think that that's what they value is based on. You know what I'm saying? And that's the sexually undisciplined mindset.
And there's another side of that too. That's why a lot of women have never actually had to have a point to make a point. They've only had to have a point up to the point where the dude that they was talking to was afraid he wasn't going to get none that night, or was afraid of whatever temper tantrum she was going to throw.
Because he needed,
fellas, man, take the L. Take the L, man. Listen, take the L. Just take the L, man. I'm telling you, your life will be a lot easier if you learn how to just take the L and walk away from shit, man. You're not supposed to accept abuse. You're not supposed to be disrespected, and you're not supposed to just tolerate what she think you're supposed to tolerate, man. You got standards and you got boundaries too, and you need to learn how to stand on them. And if she's not adhering to your boundaries without any type of compromise, take the loss. She don't give a shit. Take the L.
Man, look.
I gotta go, man. I gotta go. I gotta get up.
I'm about to say that too. We're going
on
on 3 hours, Vic.
Hey man,
this was a cooking conversation.
This motherfucker cooking. Hey,
no,
that's what it's supposed to be. When you add more people, it's supposed to go a little bit further than what you thought. But the thing is, when you got a healthy situation, you're gonna have a healthy conversation. That's just what it is, you know. Yeah. And the healthier the conversation, there's always going to be nourishment. There's always going to be nourishment. Somebody got something to contribute. Everything's got somebody. Everybody's got something to add that makes sense.
Hey, Alonda, we definitely appreciate you for tuning in. I see you said love the conversation, gentlemen. So
I
we
didn't mean to
definitely
come in the way
appreciate
that
you
I
for,
did. I'm sorry.
No,
oh,
you
yeah,
came
yeah,
in the
yeah.
way you were supposed to come
I
in.
didn't mean to come in the way that I come in.
Because, like, let me tell you
But
something.
I'm
Cat
angry.
never
Like I'm
told.
really angry.
Shout out to Amberly Chantel Smith as well. She's been on here a lot. She's definitely said a whole lot. So shout out to her as well. Randall, if you still here, definitely shout out to you as well. I'm doing this for you, Vic, because I'm just a better producer than you. It's okay.
Jesus H.
But
Like, that's fine. That's
Did you see how we can do that and just laugh?
That's cool. Hey, I did the work. I
Just
created.
laugh.
you did work, right?
Yeah.
You bought everything together, right?
You see that right there? Right there, that's somebody that won't credit for the shit they supposed to do.
Yeah.
All right, we out, man. Hey, I appreciate y'all. See y'all next week.
Hey, y'all be good.